where the Levin Racing Club conducts its Bayer Classic meeting. Enormous attention centred on the rising star O'Reilly, an unbeaten son of top shuttle stallion Last Tycoon and the 1989 Golden Slipper winner, Kortzer.
And Bondi Boy is last in the Bayer of 96, 600 to go. It is Tough Call a length in front of Trans-Siberia and Festival Time. Rebel goes forward. The next Kerry Grant outside of O'Reilly. They're waiting for the false rail. Quality Ace deeper out as they turn and go for home now. And Tough Call in front. Out wider Rebels coming after it. Then Festival Time. O'Reilly's into the clear with Kerry Grant and High Returns getting home strongly. O'Reilly at the 200 going after Rebel. Wider out, High Return is getting home with a rush. O'Reilly, Rebel, High Return out wide, trying to get them all. O'Reilly gets the Bayer. O'Reilly's lasted to beat High Return and Rebel.
As we'll see, now comes one of the highlight performances of the New Zealand racing season. The event in question is the Group 1 Telegraph Handicap, a traditional and thorough test of speed. The horse to watch is the Bayer Classic winner O'Reilly, who positions up close.
Further away then is Classic Royal with Matadoro and Wise Lass the last as La Rose Noire slips him at the 600. She links to the course proper about 4 lengths in front from Kaylee Meeson the outside. Then we've got Kincaple Lad O'Reilly between them, Jazak the inside. Wider out then we've got Moonlight's Coburg is looking to clear a bit of traffic. La Rose Noire, the rider's getting a bit anxious. Kaylee's coming out after it with O'Reilly. Wider out Moonlight's Coburg, a Wise Lass getting up and behind them. He lets the brakes go. O'Reilly's put a couple of lengths on them. Jazak runs on with Moonlight's crisp and clear, but oh yeah, he's class all right. And O'Reilly wins the Telegraph, second on a note.
This was a dominating performance from O'Reilly, proving himself to be a top-class sprinter and a worthy future stallion for Waikato. This was 4 wins from 4 starts for the son of international stallion Last Tycoon.
Intact, winning today's Magic Millions race on the Gold Coast.
The $1 million race was billed as a 2-horse affair and with all the hype of traditional New South Wales-Queensland rivalry. Mick Dittman teaming with favourite General Nediym for the home side and with plenty of local support.
They win.
I was riding with Darren Beedman and Dance Beat.
I think Dance Beat will beat the favourite.
Oh, I favour New South Wales against Queensland, Dance Beat.
It's almost like State of Origin up here.
Yeah, Marianne, a lot of excitement. The New South Welshmen up here trying to attack us.
So who's going to win?
Oh, no doubt, the Maroons on the race.
General Nediym got away from...
Dance Beat was in front for most of the race, but it was a victory for the home team in the end.
Nediym is the leader. My Halo break on the outside and Special Dame's coming fast, but General Nediym is in front with 100 metres left to go. He's got the millions, won the General, and home goes General Nediym to beat Special Dane.
Nediym really justified his favouritism in the Magic Millions.
But it's the Magic Millions all over bar the shouting at the 100 metres mark. General Nediym's well clear. Carol Love's running a great race from Special Dane, but it's 1 in a million. It's General Nediym.
An easy victory over Special Dane and the bolter My Halo broke.
Peter?
No. Thanks, Pete. Great win for Queensland. One for the Maroons.
Load home by... All in now for the Group 2 Challenge Stakes at 1,000 metres. Can 1,000 metres. Can Grande, barrier 1. Can Grande looking to make it 13 wins from 14 starts. And would have been Clang, further back Burrito, and Alfa is last. 500 metres to go. It's Can Grande a length in front in the challenge. Second is Moss Rock at the outside, then Legal Agent in the Tropics. Alfa's about 5 off the lead. Over the rise, Can Grande joined by Moss Rocket. Dye took a peep over the shoulder on Moss Rocket. Can Grande fights back at the 200. Moss Rocket, Can Grande. The chips are down. Can Grande, Moss Rocket, Alfa charging into third. Can Grande's come back at Moss Rocket. Can Grande's in front. This is a top horse, Can Grande. Then no challenge for him here. Can Grande 13 out of 14. Alfa flew for second. Moss Rocket third. Then came Clang, followed by Legal Agent.
The year for racing, we've got the Australia Day Stakes, or the Australia Stakes at Moonee Valley today, and Mahogany going for his 8th Group 1.
Are you tipping him?
Yes, I am. I think he'll win.
Max, I needn't ask you. We used to call you Mahogany, Max. No doubt you're tipping him today. No, actually, Bruce Mahogany was my favourite when he was a younger horse. I think he's a bit difficult to catch today. I think Flavour will beat him.
OK, shows that Mahogany is the favourite, but he has been an easing favourite. He's doubled his early quote, 6 to 4 out to 5 to 2. We see that in the market, as we mentioned, then Spartacus. Spartacus is just over the each way quote, but the money still comes for Flavour. I just see another fluctuation.
Sequalo, 2.5 further back, running fifth is Mahogany. Then Flavour inside him from Del Sol, 3 out, 2 lengths to Captain Lee, and Star Dancer appeared to dip slightly there last of all. 6 feet to dip slightly there last of all. 6.50 out now, and the leader Spartacus, 3/4 Apple Danish, Regal Centre third around Sequalo. Here's Mahogany putting in his run. He's about 3 lengths off them, about to come to the outside now by Dittman. 1.5 lengths Flavour trying to get away from the fence from Captain Lee. Spartacus in front with Mahogany ranging up quickly on the outside. Apple Danish has gone from Captain Lee. The other struggling further back, Flavour. On the turn, Spartacus ahead in front, but Mahogany races to him now. Mahogany ranges to Spartacus inside the 200. They're clear of Captain Lee. Mahogany's got his head in front. Spartacus coming again. Spartacus fights back, gets his neck in front of Mahogany. Spartacus in front. Great performance. Spartacus wins a neck to Mahogany. 3 away, third Captain Lee. Flavour out late to run fourth. Further back in the...
Here, Mahogany sent out the easing favourite.
Spartacus in front. Mahogany about to challenge him, and Captain Lee is breathing down Mahogany's neck. Spartacus and Mahogany turn together. Mahogany and Spartacus locked together, well clear now of Captain Lee and then Flavour. It's Spartacus fighting back. He's got his head in front again of Mahogany. Spartacus, a mighty win that. Wins it a long neck, Mahogany.
3-year-old Spartacus smashed the record, unbeaten in 3 Moonee Valley starts now, winning the CS Hayes, Moya and Australia Stakes. And
going just straight off.
Taken a course record-breaking run to beat us.
Sparta 2, the Lightning Stakes in 3 weeks, the next goal. Mahogany was favourite, Carptingly 12 to 1. Big money for Flavour was astray. Race 6, the previously unbeaten.
And just in closing, Mel and Jen, it's been a trying week for Lee Freedman, and more bad news today. Encosta de Lago had a track accident this week, and he'll miss the rest of the autumn, hopefully be back for the spring. Today, with the news that outstanding sprinter Hariba has been put down. It was hoped the mighty galloper may recover from a serious injury he sustained during track work last Thursday week. But
his devastating power quickly earned him the nickname The Machine in racing circles.
He's a champion. Hariba will bolt in. He wins by 6 lengths. Spanish Mix is second, Scalacci
It
third.
was that performance
at Sandown in Melbourne.
Lights on, they're on.
Trained by Bart Cummings, ridden by Darren Beedman. Alfa Racing in the orange colours started the very short-priced favourite, despite giving 2.5 kilos to the Clary Connors trained Mouwad.
The inside, Toledo the outside, 3 lengths Civil List. On its outside is El Tasman, scrubbed up to make a bit of ground again from Silverglade. Alfa Beedman pulls to the outside on him now, and then Willow Moore and back at the end of the field, Dual Honour. 300 to go, Mouwad and neck Toledo, 2 Civil List. Here comes Alfa. He's starting to lengthen stride well. Mouwad at the 200 has 2 lengths Alfa and Toledo. It's Mouwad, 150 to go. He's 2 lengths to Alfa. It's Mouwad holding Alfa at bay at the moment. He might have just died on his run, and then Toledo, but Mouwad, although tested mid-race, goes on to win by 1.5 lengths to Alfa. 5 lengths away third is Toledo.
Keith, I think.
A peg back Mouwad, who's in front of the 200-metre mark. He got 1.5 lengths to Alfa, who's after him, but Mouwad got 2 lengths in front. Alfa trying to make up the ground from Toledo. Mouwad's finding plenty, holding Alfa at bay, and Mouwad all the way, a length on the line, Alfa.
Yes, apart from the 3-year-old record, Mouwad came within 7/10 of the track record held by Jean.
I don't know about Superstar, but he's a really good horse, and you know, as I said before, I'm so lucky to have the horse, and the trained horse like him, you don't get him very often.
Mouwad took his record to 4 wins in 5 starts. A satisfying started 3 to 1. Alfa slightly easy 10 to 9 favourite with Toledo third at 4s.
About your horse's run, Alfa. A shade disappointing, or just right 2 weeks away from the Cadbury Guineas?
I think probably yesterday, I think probably underestimated the winner, and he couldn't possibly make up the leeway with the fractions they run the last 200 metres. So I think Flemington maybe with set weights would give us a better chance of winning.
We're watching 2 very good horses here. Bruce Mouwad was racing. He was challenged by Toledo in the straight. I've never seen a horse drop.
Carnival's potential stars, the Bart Cummings trained Alfa, has gone amiss and will be out until at least the spring. The Caulfield's his race, during which time he became a very sick horse in Japan. But Cox Plate and Melbourne Cup winner Sainly is entitled to be a short price favourite for tomorrow's CF4 Stakes at Caulfield according to the...
Caplingley and Star Dancers close handy, a gap of about 3 lengths. Rubidium. Saintly is third last on settling down, being followed by Rubidium, a length and a half further back as Doriemus as they come down the side, and Lockray has dropped out to last. Coming up towards the 700-metre marker, and it's Cut Up Rough moving up on the outside to take the lead from Regal Centre. Close in behind them, Flavour, a length further back is Caplingley, followed by Star Dancer, a length and a half. Saintly on the inside of Rubidium. Lockray is second last, and Doriemus is last of all as they commence the run around the home turn. Cut Up Rough is the leader. He's being tackled by Flavour on the outside. Regal Centre still there on the rails as they head for home. Star Dancer is next, followed by Capling. And Saintly's a fair way back, giving these leaders a tidy start as they run to the 200. Regal Centre over on the inside. Cut Up Rough and Flavour. They're clear from Caplingly, followed by Star Dancer. And here comes Saintly down the outside. He's unwinding a big run. It's Cut Up Rough just the leader on the outside. Saintly, look at him come, the champion. He hits the front. Saintly, a big effort. Races home to a great win in the CF4. Saintly first, Cut Up Rough second, Star Dancer third, followed by Regal Centre and Flavour.
He's moving up 3 wide, 1.5 Carplingley, Star Dancer. Saintly is in an awkward place with Rubidium outside him coming to the turn. Lockray takes off, Doriemus last. At the bend, Cut Up Rough the middle, Flavour the outside, Regal Centre turn in front of Carplingley. And then came Star Dancer and 2 or 3 lengths further back. Saintly spotting the leaders, 5, 250 out. Regal Centre fights back on the inside again, puts his nose in front of Cut Up Rough. Flavour on the outside, then came Star Dancer. Saintly is lengthening, and in the last little bit, he's storming over the top of them. The mighty horse from heaven. Saintly has got up to win it from Cut Up Rough.
The champ had plenty in reserve and stormed home.
And then Saintly laid down the outside of the adapt to put up a huge performance from there. It's Cut Up Rough, and on the outside Flavour, and look at him come now. Saintly lifting, mighty performance, Saintly.
A great win to the
lead they'd come to see today.
What a warm-up for his tilt at back-to-back Australian Cups. Jockey Darren Beedman leapt for joy, and trainer Bar Cummings couldn't have been happier.
He wins whatever you train him for, so not many horses, as you can say, can win under those conditions.
Sainly
got it. He certainly flew, and he's a real champion, this horse.
It was a comeback.
It was the run of a champion, turning certain defeat into victory. A collective sigh of relief swept Caulfield. The great horse was back, and Darren Beedman couldn't hide his delight. Saintly's put in some huge performances, but this one impressed deeply.
This one was exceptionally good because he beat a sprint field and gave him a second start from about 200 metres out and beat him home, so that takes some doing. You've got to be a champion to do that.
How did you feel?
Yes, Saintly, just what the autumn needed, scoring at even money. Favourite into the St George in a fortnight. And
in winning the All Stakes, Saintly emulated the performances of Attalac, Letzelote and Jean, who all won the Melbourne Cup before returning to score brilliant first-up victories at 1,400 metres.
Come good overnight, John. Of course, he'd only won one mediocre race, and our first race along the Canterbury, and he only just scrambled him in the 1,900-metre race, and I thought, well, he's just a horse.
My Bam Star put his head in front, but Might and Power's coming again. Might and Power again wrested the lead away from My Bam Star, and Might and Power, far too strong, draws away to win it well over My Bam Star.
Jack's opinion changed for good.
The Australian Guineas is on again at Flemington tomorrow. It's being billed as a 2-horse race between Octagonal's baby brother Mouwad and unbeaten New Zealander O'Reilly. And while
the Group 1 Australian Guineas from Flemington, maybe prices about $5.50 on the Super Tab. O'Reilly from New Zealand has had 4 starts for 4 wins, and there's plenty of key. Octagonal's young brother, he's raced 5 times for 4 wins. Today is his big chance for a Group 1 success between $2.20 and $2.10.
800-metre marker. Further back then is King Ivor, and last of all is Silver Glade, nearing the home turner with 700 metres left to travel. Mouwad held together by length on Regal Centre. Tarn Purlane around the outside of O'Reilly, a length and a half further back. Portland Player followed by King Ivor. Silver Glade is last as they straighten up with about 500 metres left to go on the Cadbury Guineas, and Mouwad is the leader. Coming down the outside turn, Purlane, and now O'Reilly's in the clear and running on strongly as they come to the 300. Mouwad is the leader, being tackled by O'Reilly, who's trying to get to him, but Mouwad is nicely clear, coming into the 250, a length and a half to O'Reilly. Tarn Purlane is back behind them, Portland Player, but Mouwad has increased his break. He's gone further ahead, Mouwad. O'Reilly in second place, followed by Tarn Purlane, but it's all Mouwad. He's much too good and is going to bolt him with the Cadbury Guineas. Mouwad came away for a brilliant win, won by a length and a half, O'Reilly. Tarn Purlane is third, followed by King Ivor, Portland Player.
He's out 3 wide now. O'Reilly getting up behind the leader into the straight. There's a gap there, and he's got out O'Reilly O'Sullivan now at the 400. Mouwad in front, O'Reilly challenging. Tarn Purlane wider out, and then King Ivor. Mouwad at the 300 getting off the rails, but he's 2 lengths to O'Reilly, and then Tarn Purlane. King Ivor is struggling. 150 to go. Mouwad's gapped them. He's raced 2.5, 3 in front now from O'Reilly and Tarn Purlane, and it's Mouwad. He's too good and all the way. Mouwad wins the Guineas by over 2 lengths, O'Reilly.
Younger brother. I thought she was a great little champion for 3-year-olds at the time. Ter's come along, he was the best 2-year-old of his year. He was the highest weighted 2-year-old ever. This horse is more brilliant than him. He's more adaptable, you know, and you haven't seen the best of this horse yet, I promise you.
We've had the Big O, now welcome the Big M. A win that meant plenty for trainer Clary Connors. He's openly stated this is the best. He's openly stated this is the best horse he's trained. The pressure on him to have Mouwad live up to the rap has been immense. So much was expected of the brother to Octagonal, purchased for $400,000.
You know, these sorts of things, and I wanted to go through his whole racing career unbeaten, and he got beat one day and upset me. So I've got to go from now, and I don't want him to get beaten again. I'm very greedy. I don't want him to get beaten again, because he shouldn't get beaten, because he'll be, if you look after him and put him in the right races, they won't beat him, because he'll be too good for most horses.
So where to next is the question for Mouwad. Options include tackling Sainly in the Australian Cup or returning to Sydney.
A very good horse yesterday. The Big O's brother, is he the Big M, Mouwad?
Yeah, I think he is. He is the Big M, and he's really is an excitement machine. Bruce, Clary Connors was moved to tears at Flemington yesterday, and everyone else at the track
on this subject. Keith said that Mouwad was used up early. It was run at a very slow pace. It was put on for Mouwad. Mouwad is an outstanding racehorse, but yesterday, the sections, the tactics of the race, perhaps the pattern of racing, it did suit Mouwad. And if you think Clary was emotional there, you ought to see him after he wins a golden slipper.
Well, he's won.
To Mouwad, we saw Mouwad win the Group 1 Australian Guineas, and now we see his brother Octagonal try and win the Group 2 Apollo Stakes. But this is a star-studded. Confess Juggler is at $1.60 on the tote, a little bit longer with bookmakers. I thought he'd be anything up to 3 to 1 on, and $1.60 seems a reasonable price. It's a reasonable price. Octagonal, the Big O, trying to find his old form, trying to find his form of last autumn, is at about $5.65.
Iron Horse the last in, and they're off in the Apollo. Juggler's jumped away fairly well. Circles of Gold given the run of the race by Leanne Olsen, then Nothin Like a Dane, followed by Juggler on the outside. He's about 5 off the lead as they near the turn. Buzz Off is out 3 deep under pressure, and then Octagonal pushed along by Beedman and Dupan as last as they come to the turn in the Apollo Stakes. Ravada with the inside running, joined again by Iron Horse and Circles of Gold striding up to make a line of 3 as they turn the corner. Now Juggler's pulled out 4 and 5 deep as they turn for home, and Boss pops the question. Nothin Like a Dane is close to the inside rail as they turn the corner. It's Ravada, Circles of Gold, but his Juggler right out in the centre of the track, racing to them, and Octagonal is coming out of the pack. Juggler clear with 100 to go. Ockie has run into second place, but he can't pick up Juggler, and Juggler scores a brilliant win, easing up in the Apollo Stakes. Octagonal second, Circles of Gold ran her usual bottler race for third, followed by Ravada, Nothin Like a second. Circles of
14 wins now in 34 starts for Juggler, starting 6 to 4 favourite. Octagonal looks like he's going to have a good autumn at 7s, and Circles of Gold.
Juggler yesterday. He's such a professional racehorse, isn't he, in the Apollo Stakes? He can quicken, and weight for age racing, it's the key, isn't it?
Yes, Juggler is a top-class racehorse, as he showed yesterday. He wasn't 100% wound up. He was far too good for his opposition, but the Big O, Octagonal, he showed a glimmer of what he was, and if he can just spark on that run, well, he's going to make it very interesting in future races.
Max, he loves. Now he's running today in the big race in Melbourne, the Lightning Stakes. He's named after a mafia figure. He's won 14 out of 15, and he's going to be a real attraction.
Walker, and I think Mahogany's got the wood on him, Bruce. Do you? Yes, I do. Mahogany loves Flemington. He's won his past 2 starts there. They were the Lightning this time last year, and the Linlithgow in the spring. He's won 2 of 3. He's won 2 of 3 runs at 1,000 metres, which is unbelievable.
You haven't picked him a place, Max. Mahogany. He's like Keith. He's a light of yesteryear.
Max is shilling on the side. More if you...
And they'll be set to go for the Lightning Stakes. Hutchie, your thought in a word? Who would you like to ride?
I think I'll go with Mark 2. Mahogany might just
prevail.
Yeah.
On the inside from Sequalo, Spartacus moving up on the outside. Just behind the leading 3 is Mr. Satisfaction on the rail, and Mahogany is posied up just behind it. Can Grande is next, following Spartacus, and then Cambridge Galaxy. Mox Rocket is settling well back in the field, and then Clang on the inside of Blazing Reality. Racing to the 400, Armadale on the rails just in front. Spartacus 3 out, coming out Sequalo in the centre. Then came Mahogany looking for an out. He's had to ease over Sequalo's heels. Can Grande on his outside might pocket him here. He's in trouble there, Mahogany. At the 200-metre mark, Spartacus hits the front. Can Grande's coming at him on the outside. Mahogany without a lot of room is trying to squeeze through. He's got through Mahogany. He pounced on the lead from Can Grande and Spartacus, and Mahogany, despite difficulties, draws away to win a length and a half from Can Grande and Spartacus 3rd. Then Moss Rocket, who came from near the back of the field to grab 4th from Clang. Blazing Reality racing to the 400. Armadale on the rails just in front. Spartacus 3 out, coming out Sequalo in the centre. Then came Mahogany looking for an out. He's had to ease over Sequalo's heels. Can Grande on his outside might pocket him here. He's in trouble there, Mahogany. At the 200-metre mark, Spartacus hits the front. Can Grande's coming at him on the outside. Mahogany without a lot of room is trying to squeeze through. He's got through Mahogany. He pounced on the lead from Can Grande and Spartacus, and Mahogany, despite difficulties, draws away to win a length and a half from Can Grande and Spartacus 3rd. Then Moss Rocket, who came from near the back of the field to grab 4th from Galaxy.
Oh, he's a true champ, isn't he? This is Mahogany. We're looking at the moment. G Hall, another winner, and I tell you what, there was a real... G Hall just never gave up at any stage, and this horse just bullocked his way through. There's not a lot of him. He's a champion, this little fellow, Mahogany, and a tremendous...
For luck, and you know, he did that, and I thought he probably should have won by further because he nearly got knocked over at the 300-metre mark by Can Grande, but just shows you what a champion he is.
Very warm applause from the crowd on the fence here for a horse that's won 2 derbies and 2 Lightning Stakes.
There's not many horses that win 2 Group 1s at the age of 2 and they're still winning them at the age of 6.
No, it's worked out with...
It's a great go now. Mahogany bursts through, grabs Can Grande and Spartacus. Mahogany does it again. Mahogany just over a length, Can Grande.
You haven't picked him a place, Max. Mahogany. He's like Keith. He's a light of yesteryear.
How you going, Max?
I'm going all right. See, I am again...
Good morning, John Hawkes. Yeah, good morning, Bruce.
I am again the victim of the Melbourne Mafia here, because every time...
We did have a shill...
First Kiwi to win the Blue Diamond Stakes will be tough, with Australia's...
Wood from New South Wales, he's showing at $9 on the tab. Thriller from New Zealand is at $10. Remember, these are Victoria from Sydney is at $34. Knowledge at $21. Schubert, the favourite, trained by Peter Hayes at Encosta in South Australia, is at $3.60. Aveda from Sydney.
Le Mans, Knowledge is second to last, and Zelia at the 500 nearing the turn. Sports in front of Lady Lexus, Thriller out 3 wide. On their outside, Accumulation and Schubert about 5 wide coming to the turn. Then came Cornwall Queen, followed by Aveda. Rose of Danehill back near the inside, and Millwood next, hard ridden and getting checked into the straight. Sports the leader. He's by 2 lengths to Thriller. Schubert called on for the run. Rose of Danehill getting up behind the leader. Sports at the 150 still has 2 lengths on Rose of Danehill and Schubert. It's Sports on the inside. He's in front by about a length. Rose of Danehill and Knowledge swamping them out wide. Rose of Danehill, Knowledge on the outside has got up and won the Blue Diamond from Rose of Danehill, and Sports should every chance 4th, and then came Lady of the Pines.
Years to win your biggest 2-year-old race. He was a great thrill, really great thrill.
But he'll go further. He's a... Now, I'm not saying he's a Derby horse next year, I think, but he's definitely 2,000-metre horse as a 3-year-old.
The stable couldn't separate Knowledge and Rose of Danehill despite the difference in the betting ring. Schubert 4th at 11-4.
A good feel for the Golden Slipper form now. You've got Sports in Melbourne, you've got Guineas in Sydney. How does the Melbourne form compared with the Sydney 2-year-olds?
I reckon they're pretty well line ball, Max, together, and I think a barrier draws are going to be an extremely important part, you know, when it comes to, you know, race day. I think the Blues...
One I wouldn't throw out of the market for something like the Golden Slipper.
Simon, you and I are thinking on the same wavelength now, because Schubert, I thought, was the best run in the race.
outside of that Evader. And I thought...
Cup and TX. A little gloss off the surround stakes because we only had 6 to start with. Now there are 5. Melanie May went right off, I hope. And Gypsy Fire in full flight as the leader over Assertive Lass. Late Night Fun on the outside. And a length and a half to Dashing Eagle, now being wound up by Johnny Marshall. She'll have to make the turn 4 deep into the straight. Gypsy Fire, Assertive Lass, Late Night Fun and Dashing Eagle is sweeping right around the outside. She's grabbed the lead. Dashing Eagle shot to the front, coming to the 200 over Assertive Lass, who's not done with. She's fighting on strongly, and then Priceless Joy. But Dashing Eagle clear with 100 to go, and the Eagle has landed in the surround stakes for Wolf Blass. Dashing Eagle beat Assertive Lass, Priceless Joy third, and the Eagle clearly superior today. A distant fourth.
You're going to get back $1.70 for every dollar. Second will be Assertive Lass, and third, Priceless.
Assertive Lass in the middle, and the long price one on the inside, Priceless Joy, ran a surprisingly good race. But Dashing Eagle in those famous Wolf Blass colours is starting to draw clear of Assertive Lass and Priceless Joy. The chairman of the TAB bred that winner, Ross Cribb.
Fit, isn't it, Dashing? Is she going to stay this prep?
I don't think she will, because Bart's going to keep it to a Doncaster preparation, so she won't have a chance.
In fact, the Chipping Norton is the only Group 1 race run at Warwick Farm. There's only a small field of 5, but what it lacks in quantity, it sure makes up for in quality. Number 1, Juggler, the favourite, is at $1.90. Number short for him. Our old mate Octagonal, and I bet Simon O'Donnell's watching in Melbourne, is at $4.70. Bookmakers have got him a little bit longer. Number 4, Filante, runner-up in this Cox Plate, and I think he'll beat Juggler today. He's showing $2 to ride down there today, but Shane Dye's no stranger to Octagonal, having won the Cox Plate on him in the spring of 1995.
Hot and depressive day at Warwick Farm. Starters ready now for the Chipping Norton Stakes. They're off and running. Octagonal might have been a shade slow. Circles of Gull bounced out in front over Dew. Hasn't done herself much good today. She's pulled very hard early, and Octagonal is now tacking on at the tail. Past the 800 mark, Filante about a neck on Due Pain. A length to Juggler, who's racing one off the fence. Dye makes a quick move on Octagonal. Glenn Boss on Juggler. Tried to go with him, but Octagonal showed an amazing turn of speed past the 600. He's exploded around the outside to go to the front as they come to the turn. Daring Tactics by Shane Dye. Will they pay off? He's got Octagonal in full flight on the corner, led by a length and a half to Juggler, who's moving to second. Filante third, flat to the boards, and the other two are beaten off. Octagonal first into the straight. He's got a 2-length break on Juggler. Boss goes for the whip on Juggler, who's coming out after Rocky. Octagonal's in front, 100 out. Juggler is trying desperately to pick him up, but Bold Tactics by Shane Dye are going to pay off, and he pinches the Chipping Norton. Octagonal beat Juggler. I think Dupan will just get third in front of Filante, and last of the 5 circles. Much good today. She's pulled very hard early, and Octagonal is now tacking on at the tail. Past the 800 mark, Filante about a neck on Due Pain. A length to Juggler, who's racing one off the fence. Dye makes a quick move on Octagonal. Glenn Boss on Juggler. Tried to go with him, but Octagonal showed an amazing turn of speed past the 600. He's exploded around the outside to go to the front as they come to the turn. Daring Tactics by Shane Dye. Will they pay off? He's got Octagonal in full flight on the corner, led by a length and a half to Juggler, who's moving to second. Filante third, flat to the boards, and the other two are beaten off. Octagonal first into the straight. He's got a 2-length break on Juggler. Boss goes for the whip on Juggler, who's coming out after Rocky. Octagonal's in front, 100 out. Juggler is trying desperately to pick him up, but Bold Tactics by Shane Dye are going to pay off, and he pinches the Chipping Norton. Octagonal beat Juggler. I think Dupan will just get third in front of Filante, and last of the 5.
Well, Daring Tactics by Shane Dye on Octagonal, and you'll hear the reception in Brisbane that this horse gets as he comes back to scale, returning a Group 1 winner today. Octagonal, Australia's favourite horse, too good for Filante and Juggler. Juggler well beaten, and Filante not even a winner. The mighty Octagonal, if you back him, $4.70 for the win and $2.20 for the place. Group 1, that's his 8th Group 1 win, and there'll sure be a fabulous reception for him.
Listen to this. I mean, we're at Warwick Farm. We're not at Moonee Valley. And it's the Chipping Norton Stakes. It's not the WS Cox Plate, and yet the reception here is similar.
I believe with the way the crowd reception, and it just gave you goosebumps, really. I mean,
your most famous horse produced one of his most famous victories. I bet you were feeling at one stage, I wish I was in Sydney at Warwick Farm.
I certainly was, Bruce. I mean, he's just a sensational racehorse, and Actually, I was down the trainer's bar watching it with John Sadler, and I can assure you there's a bit of a tear in the eye and the tingles are running down my spine.
How was it working?
Been very, very good at that, but it was really left up to Shane and how the...
Max Gay Waterhouse today in the paper saying it's Shane's greatest ride ever. I mean, he rides for her a lot. I mean, how did you read it?
Yes, I'd say it was a great ride for racing, a great ride. It was a great ride for racing, a great ride, a great horse, and one of those times that you're really proud to be at a race course to see such a happening.
Well, as John would appreciate, guys, the response at Caulfield around the TV monitors was unbelievable. People cheered when Octagonal ran. He ran his last sectional in times that no one could believe, and Shane Dyke was...
races. He's won $4 million, Cox Place. I reckon at the end of the day, they're going to remember this race, the Chipping Norton, more than any other.
The wood on. This is Octagonal at his best. Will you have a crack at Sainly in the Australian Cup or keep him in Sydney for the Randwick?
No, he'll be in Sydney for the Australian Cup.
In Melbourne?
Melbourne.
In Melbourne.
You're going to take him down,
He's
eh?
going down for the Australian
Bart said
Cup.
you're wasting your time. It's too hot down there, and Saintly's acclimatised and he's ready.
Yeah, oh, well, he's got the, he's going to be in for an awful big shock. I've beat him before and I'll beat him again.
Do you reckon you can beat him in the Australian Cup?
Well, I beat him every time, you know, before when he was a 3-year-old, when Saintly was in front of him, we'd beat him. When he was behind us, we'd still beat him. So I think, it's going to be one heck of a race. But,
this is going to be a sensational race. I'm glad you're coming.
The second horse, Juggler, run very, very well because he's run the same time, broke 33 seconds for the last 600 metres, so you can't take anything away from him.
Look, what a sensational race. He is a people's horse. We've spoken about Saintly being a people's horse. Look at the crowd there yesterday. At Caulfield, where I was yesterday, I was a long way away from it, but fair dinkum, you felt as if you were there. The people were just absolutely enthralled by what this horse did, and particularly what Shane did. Was just such a gutsy ride, and there's happy people everywhere. I'm sure, was that Gay just congratulating you?
Yeah, she was. She congratulated me.
Shane
congratulated me.
Shane, 32.81 was an unheard of sectional. Did he feel to be going that fast?
Well, when I went, I really went for him. I didn't want to stop and give the rest a chance to pick me up, because if I thought I'd make it into a hard 800 metres, he would win.
And that certainly takes everyone. The career of Australia's premier racehorse, Saintly, may be over. The Melbourne Cup winner has broken down, and the best scenario is he'll be sidelined for at least 12 months.
During the week, it's one of my best friends during the week when Saintly broke down. It was just an awful feeling hearing it on the radio driving around Melbourne.
Monday will have to defy modern-day weights to win tomorrow's Group 1 Oakley Plate at Caulfield. But despite...
Grosve will carry 58 kilos in tomorrow's Oakley Plate, and in the past...
odds. Number 1 Grosve showing at $6 or odds of 5 to 1. Moss Rocket at $9. Spartacus at $5. Raw Discard at $17. Ruffles $9.50. Horse I like, the Lee Friedman trained Rock You, is equal favourite. I thought he'd be longer odds.
Is always a chance as they came towards the turn, and Prince Marauding went past him. Spartacus led by about a neck to Grosve, 2 to Street Talk, 1 to Moss Rocket at the turn, a length and a half to Rock You running on, and then came at the head of the others is Ruffles into the straight. Spartacus leads from Grosve, shaken up by Beedman. Then came Street Talk, who's flat to the boards as Spartacus kicked away on Grosve at the 200, and the 3-year-old leads by more than 2 lengths. Rock You racing up towards Grosve into second placing. It's Spartacus clear though from Rock You and Grosve, and Spartacus wins it by a length and a quarter to Rock You. Third a photo, Clang flashed home, and another excuse from Grosve, who weakened.
I can't understand it, honestly. He either runs a track record or a breath away every time he goes round.
Old's first far too good, equalling Scalacci's weight-carrying effort with 54.5 kilos. He gave Darren Beedman always good value. Spartacus at 5 to 1 today, sprinted away. Rock You a game second. Clang completing the 3-year-old's trifecta.
What came away for a brilliant win?
The name is Mouwad, named after the great diamond, the Mouwad Splendour.
One of the dearest diamonds in the world. It's the diamond that Richard Burton gave Elizabeth Taylor. So the film stars must have a lot of money. It's worth 11 million, I believe.
Mouwad. Cut up rough the first out. Seamus missed it by a couple of lengths. Has dropped out to last. Zuccarino got out well. Mouwad going very quickly up on the outsider to Seamus as they race down towards the 800-metre mark, and Mouwad under a tight rein, leading a half length to Star Dancer.
Now the 3-year-old Mouwad still about a half to 3/4. Star Dancer niggled at to stay with him. Zuccarino easing out from Del Sol. Cut up rough and shame. Mouwad for home, led by about a length here. Cooksley had a look across his shoulder, sent him away by 2 lengths. Zuccarino gets to second from Del Sol. Star Dancer then cut up rough off with Shame. They're inside the 200 and Mouwad with his dazzling sprint. Put up 2 lengths now to Shame, who's rocketing down the outside. Mouwad is clear. Shame coming at the 3-year-old, but Mouwad is too good. And Mouwad a length and a half to Shame. Third is cut up rough. Then
a dramatic effect.
This Mouwad fired up, but simply accelerated away to win his 6th race in only 7 starts.
And he hasn't done much racing, and so, you know, he's gone pretty easy, you know, and the horse is going forward in leaps and bounds. So we just got to nurse him, that's all, and just take him home now and put him in the bedroom and look after him.
Clary certainly looking after the best horse he's ever had. Mouwad now heading to Sydney for the Doncaster, where he's well weighted on only 51 kilos. Shame, another good
company, did it at both ends. He ran the last 600 metres in 34.38. That's flying.
So you give him ticks all round? Do you give him ticks all round?
I thought it was a workmanlike win. It was served up to him. He came...
97 Canterbury Guineas here this year, and I understand in the future to be run at the STC's premier track at Rose Hill near Parramatta. And it's 1,800. Right, number 1, Great Command. The Kiwi Derby winner is into $3.20. He's a hot favourite. Number 2, Intergaze at $5.50. Number 3, Ebony Grove at $5.50. At $10 exactly. Might and Power is at $21. Don
is bobbing around. Away, Baboo's Boy. Around the top turn, and with 700 to go, Might and Power the leader. West Point second, third Kiwi and third Kiwi Hero. King Ivor's been 3 deep from the outset. Intergaze getting a lovely run, followed by Flak Jacket. Great Command will want a bit of luck. He's bailed up on the fence. He's a Dane in a spot of bother, followed by Ebony Grove, who'll be carted deep on the turn and sweeping right around the outside. Baboo's Boy as they turn the corner. 400 out, Might and Power the leader. West Point goes to him pretty easily on the outside. Intergaze is after them now, and Great Command into the clear, taking a while to get going. At the 200, Might and Power fighting back. West Point's gone. Intergaze has grabbed Might and Power. They're clear of Great Command, but Intergaze shot clear 100 metres out. Craig Carmody goes for home, and Intergaze for the Canterbury Guineas. Intergaze beat Might and Power, Gallant in defeat. Third's close, Great Command and West Point, and then California, He's a Dane, followed by Flak Jacket, Star Kiwi Hero, King Ivor, and Baboo's Boy last in the Tui's Canterbury Guineas for 1997.
Number 2 Intergaze, though, if you've backed him 570 and 220, I'll just take the number for Might and Power. Number 10 will pay $4.80, and if the favourite has got third
today. Good win, Intergaze, wasn't it?
Well, Intergaze is a very good 3-year-old, and certainly I think he can get better than he was yesterday. Second start after a spell, little bit fizzy in the enclosure before the horses anyway.
Well, he's had a run, wasn't it? Might and Power.
Well, he's graduating from midweek company. He's a good, tough horse, a genuine horse, but he was certainly more seasoned than his rivals yesterday, almost.
I think you've got it right, Max. When you look at the finish of this race, there's nothing behind Intergaze that you could really make a genuine case for reversing the finishing order when they meet again. Craig Carmody repaid a promise by his former master, Rod Craig, for a Group 1 win, and that promise made 14 years.
The 600 mark and Graham's Choice almost joined by General Nediym. In third place, Dan's Beat on the outside of Accuse, followed by Special Dane and Pilfer, and Rocket to Mars last as they turn for home, straightening up, and Mick Dittman is swinging to the General. He took a half-length lead immediately after turning the corner over Graham's Choice. Dan's Beat running on, followed by Special Dane. Coming to the 200, and Mick clicks up, and General Nediym's 2 in front of Dan's Beat and Special Dane on the outside. General Nediym is well clear. He's got further ahead now. He's 3 in front of Special Dane, who's running home well, followed by Dan's Beat. But General Nediym leads the troops home in a canter. In the Todman, Special Dane second, Dan's Beat third, followed by Accuse.
Used to like about him, his speed and stamina and, you know, the attitude to relax and do everything right in the race.
And if the Colts owners won't pay the $100,000 late acceptance fee for the slipper...
I'll pay it myself.
In the
I'm not taking... Was surprised General Nediym was in as short as 9 to 4. Lee Freeman's won the last 4 golden slippers in a row, and he's got Rose of Danehill and Knowledge. You saw Knowledge trial on Friday.
Favourite.
The Newmarket, I noticed Mahogany, you've actually put him in, Max, and you're sticking with him, Keith.
I'm sticking with Mahogany, the favourite.
You haven't picked O'Reilly a place?
No, I haven't. He's going in, he's lightly...
Into 13 to 4, or $4.20. Number 2, All Our Mob is firmed a little too. O'Reilly, as I told you, is out to 11 to 4, almost 3 to 1 now, $3.90 for $1 investment. Ruffles, the horse Shane Dye spoke of, is still at 20 to 1. Catalan Opening, TAB number 6, is out to 7 to 1. But Rock You, as I told you, was another Lee Friedman horse, $5.90.
Back in the leader is Ruffles, a length and a half in front from Flavour second, 2 lengths further back O'Reilly on the outside of Cut Up Rough, then Rock You further out from Apple Danish. Behind those is Catalan Opening. Mahogany is a long way back, he's back last, just in front of him now is Lord Luskin, and at the moment O'Reilly's under a lot of pressure. He's gone, O'Reilly, he's been eased up out of the race, he's broken down O'Reilly, and Ruffles 4 in front of Flavour. Then Catalan Opening starting to rattle home from All Our Mob. Then Mahogany coming late, but Ruffles is a mile in front. He's 3 lengths Catalan Opening. Now Mahogany, All Our Mob finishing hard, but Ruffles wins the Newmarket. A length and a half to either Catalan Opening or All Our Mob.
Rider was favourite in the Newmarket handicap, but broke down 300 metres out. It was sheer speed as Ruffles ran her rivals ragged.
Ruffles still 4 lengths to Catalan Opening, All Our Mob. Mahogany getting out late, but still Ruffles in front. A surprise coming up. Ruffles by 2 lengths, and Ruffles has won the Newmarket from, I think...
Ruffles just the 12th mare to win this race and the first since Special in 1988. But sadly the end for O'Reilly. The colt injured a suspensory and has been retired to stud. Ruffles' first leg of a big double for Shane Dye. Catalan Opening, but going for his 9th Newmarket, had to be satisfied with second.
Champion racehorse Octagonal will make his final appearance in Melbourne on Monday when he takes on Juggler in the $1.2 million Australian Cup.
Everything's in place for Octagonal to go out as a true champion in Monday's Australian Cup.
I feel pretty privileged, really.
OK, the Australian Cup. Keith, you're going with the Big O. Max, it's his last run in Melbourne.
This is a reversal of form. I thought Keith said that...
A horse like that, well, I said, I've never trained a horse like that. I don't think I ever will, even though we might have a lot of good horses, and maybe in the future he's just something special. That they're sort of horses that come along every 20 or 30 years, and I think it'll be a while before one comes along again.
We're agreeing on him today.
We're certainly going to agree on him, and a couple of fellows...
Octagonal, who's showing about 380 or 390. Quickly, it's 9 to 2 Doriemus, 33 Vianda Cross, 2 to 1 Juggler, 40 to 1 Magnet Bay, 7 to 1 Istadad, 14 Perfect Bound. Octagonal, a touch better than 11 to 4, 7 to 1 Nothin Like a Dane, 100.
They're racing. Great start too. And Royal Line, one of the first to jump out with Gull City beginning well as to down and Juggler. And Nothin Like a Dane hunted up along the inside to take up. There's Nothin Like a Dane on the inside of Perfect Bound, being followed closely by Royal Line. 2 lengths away, Juggler on the outside of Gull City. A length and a half further back, Vianda Cross, and Doriemus is starting to make ground. And a length and a half, Octagonal still back at the tail of the field as they go past the 800-metre mark and come up towards the home turn, where the leader Magnet Bay is challenged by Istadad for the front running, and just in behind the Perfect Bound, getting a beautiful run on the inside, Nothin Like a Dane, followed by Royal Line. Deeper on the track is Juggler as they come around the home turn, and they're followed after a gap in the field by Gull City, and further back then Vianda Cross, followed by Octagonal, who's working his way to the picture, and Doriemus is last of all, 400 metres out of the cup now. Istadad takes the lead, Juggler down the outside, Octagonal is joining him with a good run, and they're followed by Magnet Bay, and further back Gull City getting up along the inside. Juggler's taken a slightly to Istadad, Gull City finishing very fast. Octagonal deeper on the track, it's Juggler just in front with 100 metres left to go. Gull City along the inside, finishing very fast. Octagonal diving up, and here's a great run as they hit the line. Oh, very tight Octagonal. Gull City just ahead of Juggler, and Istadad, and a terrific finish in the Australian Cup, followed by Nothin Like a Dane, Magnet Bay behind.
Gull City further back to Doriemus, then came Vianda Cross and Dye, and Octagonal still last. Around the turn in the Australian Cup, they straighten up, and Istadad has gone to the lead. Thompson sooled him to the front. Istadad, he's gone for home. A length and a half, Perfect Bound. Here's Juggler putting in his run, and here comes the Big O down the centre of the track with a great run. It's Juggler and Octagonal racing up at the 300-metre mark to grab Istadad. Juggler's put his head in front. Octagonal, Istadad, followed by Gull City. It's Juggler a neck in front. Octagonal trying to lift. Gull City back on the fence. Octagonal, Juggler and Gull City down to the line. Octagonal, he's got there, I'd say. Then it was back to Sydney.
Stirring struggle.
Juggler gets to Istadad at the 300. Octagonal in turners chiming in, and Gold City gets up on the inside. Juggler, Istadad, Octagonal the outside, and Gold City along the rail. Juggler just in front. Gold City pegging it back with the Big O coming at them. It's Gold City, the Big O, the outside, they hit it. Oh, gee.
Straining with.
Over on the inside's Gold City, and down the outside comes Octagonal, and you watch the big fellow put in. He'll get the money. It's Octagonal with Dye pushing him, and there's no doubt about him. He gets Gold City. First will be Juggler, second national fourth in the blue colours. But there's only one Octagonal. The crowd will yell themselves hoarse as Shane Dye brings him back to scale, completing it. They said once a lead Juggler back to scale. There's Shane Dye. They used to boo him in Melbourne, but I can assure you they're cheering him today, and well they might.
Yeah, it's pretty spine-tingling, Simon. You know, I mean, he's been something special to me over a long period of time, and I suppose going out from Victoria on a race like that today. I mean, words fail me really. I mean, what do I have to say? He just.
Octagonal, as John told you, has now won 9 Group 1 races, and amazingly, he's won them on 7 different tracks.
He won me get beat at the furlong, and at the 100 I thought I was going to win because I could just feel him. When I started to dig my knees right into him, he found that extra neck. Only champions can do it, and he certainly did it today.
It's great to see a champion back. Good on you, Shane.
That was actually
people who might have backed Doriemus, like myself. The news is bad there. Doriemus bled, and of course jockey Greg Hall walked back.
He's an amazing horse, isn't he? He only does enough to win, but fantastic horse. He's definitely the best I've ever ridden.
Octagonal gained a narrow verdict, a victory that evoked scenes rarely seen outside of Melbourne Cup time. They stood and cheered, farewelling a horse who's thrilled us at the top level at 2, 3 and 4 years. An emotional... And Octagonal will finish his racing career in Sydney in the autumn. He started at 13-4 today.
With the race of the year, maybe certainly the race of this week. Patrick Smith wrote a beautiful article, I felt, after Octagonal, front page of The Age. Said this: punters always talk through their pockets. It's a grubby language, cynically spoken. Yesterday they lined the mounting yard 5 and 6 deep. They clapped and they cheered, not for a token minute, until their hands hurt and their throats were hoarse, and this is why.
And who has never before declared that one of his mounts was a champion, but he said it this time, Shane Dye, didn't you?
He's a great horse. He was never going to win this race, and he was gone, and he never hit a brick wall. Most horses do. He kept going, and it was a fantastic win.
Well, you're about half a length off them here. The mare, the New Zealand mare, scooted along the rail there, Gold City, and she put her head in front.
John, that was our commentary position on Saturday. Just they went past the clock tower. He was never going to win there. He was never going to win at the 50. Gold City's still in front. Last 2 strides was where the race was decided. It was just a super race.
See, what you've got to remember also is horses were leading this day on Monday, and it was a front runner's track, and he come from last, so effort than people realise.
He's a fighter. He's a fighter, and that's why everybody loves him. He just never gives in. It's a bit like...
He's now been elevated to second favourite for the Golden Slipper. Dan's been pulled a lot. I mean, just what's the form here, guys? I mean, is this a top slipper trial, or did he beat underachieving horses?
No, this is the same sort of trial as General Nediym. Really, you're racing the clock here. You're not really racing rivals, and what he did with the clock was quite brilliant. He come home better than Mouwad, and as you'll note, it's the perfect slipper trial. There was a chance in the straight that Shane Dye might have fallen off for looking over his shoulder too much, but that's just a little peculiarity he has. Clary Connors said to Grant Cooksley, he rode Mouwad, he said, all I'm going to tell you is don't look over your shoulder as much as Shane Dye.
Okay, well, the good thing here, Keith, is that we're getting some fresh challenges late. Encountered, and obviously Mouwad, who won on Monday in Melbourne. So suddenly it's gone...
Much left, or was he at his top, Shane?
He was pretty much at his top, Lee. The thing is, with General Nediym last week, people thought he had 3 links up his sleeve. There's no possible way he did, and it's the same as this horse yesterday. He can't run any faster than 33.4 for his last 600 metres.
And that was impressive.
Come off.
Hey, Simon, the Rosehill Guineas, you an Intergaze fan?
Yeah, I'm an Intergaze fan. Look, for those that want a bit of value, something to beat it, I really like the way Might and Power look, number 3.
Out of for $1 investment, that's if he wins. $6 second favourite Ebony Grove. $12 Might and Power. New South Wales dividends now, of course. $13 tonne per lane. The Melbourne horse connections hope.
Dowd joined quickly towards the lead. They've gone at a furious pace the first 200 metres. Random and Might and Power. Legrand Moose joining them 3 deep, and his riders on and take up the running as they swing to the back. Ebony Grove run off his feet early, followed by Tarn Per Lane and Grandmaster last to the back, and I don't think I've ever seen a Guineas here run at a more furious pace. It's Might and Power going to a narrow lead over Random. And Le Grand Moose is relegated to third. Now he got checked there, Le Grand Moose. It's been a sensational Guineas. He's at, by gee, this is put on for the back markers at the 1,000 mark. They've steadied off just a little now. Might and Power by a length and a half to random. Le Grand Moose might have broken down. He's fallen back through the field and he caused interference to a couple of others. He's broken down Le Grand Moose. A sensational Guineas. Past the 800, Might and Power, the leader. Star Covet, the first to go after him. Random is third, followed by He's a Dane. West Point, Ebony Grove pinching ground on the fence, and then Intergaze tacking onto the main bunch. A gap to Grandmaster, followed by California, and Tan Per Lane as last as they come around the corner. Might and Power and Star Cover to the two leaders, clear of random. Ebony Grove came out suddenly. He's a Dane, all but fell. He was badly interfered with, and Intergaze is chiming in on the outside. Look at him sprint. Intergaze has raced to the lead at the 200 mark over Star Covet. Ebony Grove is whacking away, and then Tan Per Lane from a long way back, but Intergaze well clear with 100 to go. The Victorian Tan Per Lane is charging home. Intergaze is feeling the pinch. Tan Per Lane on the outside lunged and got him. Tan Per Lane has come from last and got up on the line to beat Intergaze with Ebony Grove third, followed by Star Covet and then Grandmaster Weeman.
As we pick it up, he actually looks around at Kevin Noses. He's back in the field. We might roll now, and I'll just point out where Beedman is on Tan Per Lane. White face. There you watch. Here's the interference. They all get into it. Now watch Beedman looks back just to see the interference, and watch this finishing burst now by Tan.
Great run, weak Guineas, very weak Rosehill Guineas.
I don't know, very weak. I'm not going to say
Octagonal Dane win naturalism.
No. Well, you're talking
Surface
about
Paradise, that's been in the last 6 years.
You're talking about outstanding horses there, and I'm not saying
weak Guineas, man.
Another dream horse, Clary Connors and Mouwad. They're also chasing Group 1 glory tomorrow in the George Ryder Stakes. You tipping him?
Oh yeah, he's a superstar in the making.
Well, Clary...
Steeped in history, the Group 1 George Ryder Stakes, a race whose list of past winners include champions Manicado, Emancipation and the mighty Melbourne sprinter Hariba.
They're tightly bunched on the corner, and Mouwad with the inside running again took a narrow lead over Monet's Cove. Kingston Bay pushing into the clear, followed by Sprint by Secret Savings struggling, and Anthem's coming right down the extreme outside, and Shame is trying to get between horses. Mouwad flat to the boards, pinched about a length on Monet's Cove. Secret Savings not done with yet. He's getting another go on. Anthem's can't go on, but the 3-year-old Mouwad, Ocky's little brother, and Mouwad wins another Group 1. Mouwad beats Shame. And Mouwad with the...
Harry, you've had some very, very good horses. Research, Curse, First. Is this bloke better than them all?
Yes.
Thank you.
He's a man. Mouwad and Octagonal, are they more famous now than Todman and Nothin?
Not
as brothers?
Yet, but they're getting there. I think that, I think they're probably on a par. They're building up. I would say after this...
Number 6, the Group 1 NSET Australia Stakes. Number 1, Assertive Flash is at $3.20 on the tote, touch shorter with bookies. Number 2, $3.20 for Danendri from the Bart Cummings stable. D-Robe at $12, Tambor 13-1. Now, Ella Capella, she's the one that's been back the Kiwi. She races in bright green colours, about 9-2 into 3-1. $4.
Answered Australia. They look good. Plays Emerald, Tambor third, Priceless Joy fourth. Assertive Lass getting a cushy run on the inside of Ella Capella, followed by Darrow Bay, who's on the inside of Shigeru Charlotte. Further back, Gentle Wind, Mojave Dancer. Danendri's going to have to shake a leg here. She's a mile back second last, and Dancerbeel is last of all as they come around the turn. Into the straight, Elegant caught the leader. Emerald has dropped off, Tambor in the centre. Assertive Lass between runners, followed by Priceless Joy, Ella Capella, Shigeru Charlotte, and Danendri sneaking up behind them as Assertive Lass burst to the lead. Assertive Lass shot clear at the 200. Danendri, after getting a bump, has grabbed her in one stride. Danendri shot to the lead, 100 out from Ella Capella. Assertive Lass, but Danendri, she got a big bump in the straight, but it didn't worry her one iota. Danendri came away to beat Ella Capella. Assertive Lass third, struggled with the 2,000 metres, followed closely then by Gentle.
Okay, she got a bit of a bump on the turn, the Kiwi Ella Capella, but it made no difference in the long run. Danendri won 2 comfortably. Number 3, Danendri.
Come outside of him to avoid him.
Taking nothing away from the winner, Danendri, who came from a fair way back. She copped a decent bump herself in the straight, but she fairly exploded past Ella Capella and Assertive Lass, and it was a terrific win in the Group 1 to Danendri, a plain-looking little filly, trained by Bart Cummings, and there's a chance she might even run in the Derby, I read.
Yeah, I see that. I think the second. Yeah, I see that. I think the second also in the for the Oaks, Alacapana, be very hard to beat.
Next fella might.
And Octagonal, the big O in the $1 Million Mercedes Classic.
Yeah, tremendous go. Cerise colours, and we'll be back shortly on the wide world of sport to see Big O in action. Let's have a look at what price he is on the TAB. Number 1 starting at the top, Istadad is showing at $6.90 or close enough to $7. One chance, 81 for Campaign Warrior. Octagonal, he's into the red, $1.90. That means if you put $1 on, you get $1.90 back if he wins. Put 100 on, you get 100 back. Number 7, Arcadia, is at $13. Number 8, Circles of Gold, is out to $31. Number 9, Nothin Like a Dane, is out of point to $7.
I'll be watching the Big O. Off and running in the Mercedes Classic. Came away in a nice even line. Some of the outside brigade are going to lead, I think. Circles of Gold and Flak Jacket are away quickly. Arcadia began well. Octagonal's one of the leaders with Campaign Warrior and Istadad going forward, followed by Arcadia. Octagonal is awkwardly placed at the moment. Cluttered up on the inside of He's Back on Track and Ebony Grove. Nothin Like a Dane on the outside of Arctic Scent, and back at the tail is Sky Bow. They're on the top turn at the 900 mark. Circles of Gold joined by Magnet Bay. Now they're putting on some speed. In third place, Istadad, who's had a dream run, followed by Flak Jacket. Then the Bandette, Arcadia, followed by Campaign Warrior. He's Back on Track is moving forward with Ebony Grove. Octagonal is awkwardly placed. He's cluttered up near the fence, has nowhere to go. He got shuffled back a bit there, followed by Nothin Like a Dane, and then Sky Bow and Arctic Scent, and it's standing room only on the turn. They are packed up very tightly. He's about to shut into the clear on Occy, but he's giving them a fair start as they turn for home. Magnet Bay and Circles of Gold. Istadad looming up to them from Arcadia. Octagonal's into the clear. He's starting to wind up here. He comes, the Big O down the outside. Istadad, Arcadia, but Octagonal is getting to them with every stride. Arcadia put his head in front. Octagonal is lunging as he always does. Istadad fighting back. Arcadia and Octagonal. Oh, Arcadia maybe. Arcadia maybe, a nose to Octagonal, who tried his heart out. Istadad a terrific run third, followed by Magnet Bay. Arctic Scent shut into the clear on Occy, but he's giving them a fair start as they turn for home. Magnet Bay and Circles of Gold. Istadad looming up to them from Arcadia. Octagonal's into the clear. He's starting to wind up here. He comes, the Big O down the outside. Istadad, Arcadia, but Octagonal is getting to them with every stride. Arcadia put his head in front. Octagonal is lunging as he always does. Istadad fighting back. Arcadia and Octagonal. Oh, Arcadia maybe. Arcadia maybe, a nose to Octagonal, who tried his heart out. Istadad a terrific run third, followed by Magnet Bay. Arctic Scent. Then Nothin Like a Dane. Flak Jacket, the Bandette Cam.
As they hit the line now, it's Arcadia just in front. Octagonal lunges. Let's see it when they pull to the line. There goes his head. We're waiting for the photo. Oh boy, it's up. Number 6. Octagonal is first. Octagonal first to the Mercedes Classic. He put his head in front once more when it mattered, and he grabbed Arcadia right on the line.
This is everything going around. What did you think?
Well, actually, I thought the other thing bobbed on the line watching it on TV, but absolutely sensational, mate. I mean, he's a champion, and I mean, only champions do what he's done today.
Have you ever seen a reaction at any race course in the world like you've just seen now?
Well, I've seen a lot of good horses, but I've never ever seen anything like this one.
It's just unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
We can still hear them. Please go and enjoy it. Congratulations.
Thanks, Simon.
Ken, that's it from down here. It's just
one's breaking out now as the crowd give Roy, the great horse, Roy, the Big O Octagonal, his due. And you'll see the owners, the Ingham brothers, they're there at the side of the horse already.
Then the last 50, I could feel him lift. And that's the difference between him and good horses. The last 50, they find that neck. Good horses go the same pace. He lifts.
Great horses and great jockeys. Ladies and gentlemen, your idol, Billy Idol, Shane Dye.
It sounds like a football match. It could nearly be Collingwood versus Carlton.
It certainly could. Look, there's the million. You just never see this again. The support for a horse. Shane Dye coming to the jockey's room. There's still
Octagonal, $2 exactly. Yours for theirs on the tote, even money, and $1.30 the place. Second was number 6.
Well, I wonder, has there been a more emotional, thrilling, memorable day's racing in Sydney? Max Presnell, what do you think?
No, I think we left Rosehill yesterday drunk on octagonal adrenaline.
Obviously, Keith Hillier, useful performance of Octagonal. Can't wait. What a day Golden Slipper Day has been for Octagonal. Second in the Slipper 3 years ago, won the Mercedes last year and won it again. He's 2-1-1 on the biggest day in Sydney racing. Well, he talked about that slow motion and that replay, Max.
Only recently, but have a look at this. This is a magnificent performance. Arcadia is definitely a weight for age horse here, and he's taken Octagonal right to the wire.
physically to run. When
the chief steward confirmed that Octagonal was behind a half stride before the post and again behind a half stride after it. He's got an amazing record of narrow winning margins. Bruce, I want to from the crowd of narrow winning margins. Bruce, I want to from the crowd yesterday. I mean, the jockey leading the public with 3 cheers, people reaching over the fence to touch the owners. I've never seen scenes like it in my career in racing.
Him win again. Actually, the AJC should pay him appearance money to run in the Queen Elizabeth. The race is not worth it, I reckon, if he gets beaten in terms of prize money. I know it's Group 1.
Have you ever seen scenes like that on a race course?
No, haven't really seen them like that. They really went mad yesterday. Like when we were going out, Bob and I, people just wanted to touch our hands and, you know, said, good on you, chickens, you know, and good on you, Jack, good on you, Bob. You know, it's really something, I suppose we'll never get thrills like it. And it's horses of yesteryear with horses now. The horses today are much more even. Champions in the old days used to win easy.
Yeah. They don't do that now.
They don't do that now. You only got to look at the times he runs. Yeah. He took 2.5 seconds off the Derby record. You know, so you can't compare them. He's a pretty good horse.
Jack, on behalf... OK, the last word on Octagonal belongs to Shane Day.
But let's not forget the most important thing. Octagonal. Thank you. 3 cheers, because we've all witnessed a day we will not recognise for another 10, 20 years. A horse breaking the all-time stakes record in Octagonal. Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray! Hip hip, hooray!
Our time John Hawkes does have a little bit of luck in the slipper on.
Well, he deserves it. He should have won a couple. It's been a nightmare race for him. You know, Octagonal was unlucky. Justice Prevails was unlucky. You know, and I can't see his luck changing really from barrier 11, his main chance, Guineas. I can't see him getting any closer than 3 off the fence.
General Nediym $3.10, Guineas $8, Nothin $7.50, Encounter is $4.80. The other one in the market's right down.
Go slipper for 97. They're off in the slipper, and a little slow to move is Sports. You call Sir dwelt, and so did Decide. Little Regal Chamber has begun like a rocket from an outside gate. Guineas is brilliantly away. As quickly into stride is General Nediym, who's straight into the box seat, followed by Encounter, Nimble Feet. Decide is the chat. 600 out as they near the turn. Regal Chamber the leader. Guineas is second. General Nediym third. Encounter fourth, getting a perfect run. Rose of Danehill 3 deep. Then Nimble Feet. Decide on the fence, followed by Sports. Rose of Danehill made the bend awkwardly, and Knowledge is giving them about 8 lengths as they turn for home. Regal Chamber giving plenty of cheek in the straight. Guineas on the outside, throwing down the gauntlet. The General looking for the rails run. Encounter on the extreme outside with the last run at them. General Nediym got right through on the fence to join Regal Chamber, Guineas and Encounter on the outside. Encounter and Guineas. Encounter has run off the track, is lunging again as they hit the line, and oh, it's close. Guineas or Encounter. Don't know what happened to Encounter near the line. He speared off the track and it might cost him the cheek in the straight. Guineas on the outside, throwing down the gauntlet. The General looking for the rails run. Encounter on the extreme outside with the last run at them. General Nediym got right through on the fence to join Regal Chamber, Guineas and Encounter on the outside. Encounter and Guineas. Encounter has run off the track, is lunging again as they hit the line, and oh, it's close. Guineas or Encounter. Don't know what happened to Encounter near the line. He speared off the track and it might cost him the slipper, but there's nothing in it. General Nediym probably third. Close up then is Decide, Tricove.
Well, Encounter to Guineas, but look at him. He's just done a dipsy doodle. He's turned sideways. Shane Dye didn't know what to do. Beedman kept that Guineas. He hit the front again. Encounter lunges when they hit the line. Oh, photo. But number 2 has won the money. Guineas in the Golden Slipper. A winner for the Chicken Kings. Jack and Bobbingham, they've had rotten luck in other years. Octagonal and Strategic should have both won a Golden Slipper. They didn't. Guineas was lucky to win, but his number's in the frame.
What a day.
It's just one of those super days, Simon. I mean, we've been waiting, 4 or 5 years to win the slipper and, win it on a day like today, or, what do you say, mate? Just unbelievable.
Do you ever lose any...
1997 Golden Slipper winner. He's had 7 starts for 7 wins. His name is Guineas. He's dead. They are champions out the hat. Jack with the hat. And boy, oh boy, that includes champions A beautiful dismount by Darren. He first did that on Sainly first, $7.90 and $2.80. Number 4 Encounter second, paid $1.90, and number 13 Regal Chamber was third, paid $8.
And John won it. I mean, John Hawkes yesterday trained this remarkable double, with Guineas winning the Golden Slipper and Octagonal winning the Mercedes. You said, John, words to this effect, it was the day you'd been waiting for in racing.
Well, I've been in, the game a long time, Bruce, and, that's what you build to those sort of days. But, you win one of them, you think, oh, well, that's great. But just Octagonal winning the Mercedes and then the Slipper, well, it's a race I've wanted to win ever since I've been in Sydney. And for it all to come together on one day, well, I don't think it can get any better than that.
No, let's have a look at
Johnny. Note the run here of Encounter. Encounter ducks away there, but Dye straightens him up, goes out after Guineas. This is blowtorch time, and what happens? That is where Encounter lost the race. It was a pressure test, as John said, like when you had to dig deep to find out just where the stamina and guts was. Well, Guineas found it.
Afterwards, my fella had no hope where he was because it was a front-runner slipper this year. They ran the first 3 furlongs in some unbelievably slow time. So.
Oh, no doubt he would have won for sure, John, if he'd gone straight. But he just did it so quickly. Why? Whether I hit him too hard or not, I don't know. But he did it very quickly, and he gave me no indication that he would do it. Like if he had
one Slipper's run so far.
Let's look at these prices. Intergaze is now into $3.70. TAB number 1. Number 2 Tarn per Lane is also a firmer. So I'd love this to win, $7.50. Ebony Grove is at $9. Flak Jacket at $7. TAB number 6 is out to $11. $41 now for Might and Power. I thought he was a bit overs at 50s. Star at 2 to 1. And the bottom one, the filly, Danendri, out to $3. 2 to 1.
I'm on a horse at Ebony Grove. He'll get back, but he'll charge home. It's a very open derby, and I wouldn't be surprised to see what won it.
That's it.
Closely. Off in the derby. Came away in a nice even line. Danendri, eased back by Darren Beedman, is going to tuck straight in behind the field. Don Tristram is making a dive for the early lead over with He's a Dane, Guineas, then Emerald Cut and Danendri, and tailed off is Ebony Grove as they go to the 800 metres mark in the derby. It's Don Tristram the leader. Torbellino second. Turn Me Loose third on the outside of Grandmaster. Flak Jacket is flat to the boards, followed by Might and Power, Captain Moonlight, Hero's Return, then Tarn per Lane, Star Covet. Intergaze is still about 8 lengths off the lead as they come to the corner, followed by Guineas, then Emerald Cut. Well back, He's a Dane. Danendri will have to do a mighty job, and last is Ebony Grove. Coming over the rise, and Torbellino hit the lead in the derby from Don Tristram. Further out is Turn Me Loose, and then Flak Jacket, Hero's Return. Coming right down the outside, Tarn per Lane. Intergaze is now getting a split between them. Here's Danendri and Ebony Grove coming from Stone, Motherless last. Danendri and Ebony Grove go to the lead together. It's Dye and Beedman, Ebony Grove, Danendri. Desperately close. Ebony Grove maybe a nose to Danendri. Not sure about third, Intergaze or Might and Power. Followed by Tarn back, He's a Dane. Danendri will have to do a mighty job, and last is Ebony Grove. Coming over the rise, and Torbellino hit the lead in the derby from Don Tristram. Further out is Turn Me Loose, and then Flak Jacket, Hero's Return. Coming right down the outside, Tarn per Lane. Intergaze is now getting a split between them. Here's Danendri and Ebony Grove coming from Stone, Motherless last. Danendri and Ebony Grove go to the lead together. It's Dye and Beedman, Ebony Grove, Danendri. Desperately close. Ebony Grove maybe a nose to Danendri. Not sure about third, Intergaze or Might and Power. Followed by Tarn per Lane, Grandmaster. Here,
pace was an absolute cracker. They've run 2:28 plus. Very fast time. And
yeah, Shane said he'd win. He had dinner with us Friday night. He said, don't you worry, he'll win.
Did you expect me so far back?
He did.
Ebony Grove, they ran 2:28.83, which is just over 0.4 of a second slower than the race record set by Octagonal last year. So they really carved the 16, the favourite, Don Tristram. It can't do any better. Outside of him, Hero's Return in the red cap. That's Grandmaster running all over the place in the black and white checks. Torbellino outside of him, Might and Power in the pink pushing through. Then there's one horse there I just can't catch. Yes, it's Flak Jacket.
Tapping across. Ebony Grove might have got this on protest. Anyway, have a look. He does get interfered with.
Yes, there was a slight hiccup there, but it was a demolition derby. There are a number of horses inside. Might and Power was one that had no luck at all in the straight and was beaten just over a length. I think Intergaze should have finished closer, but that's the derby. The two super...
I think he needs a spell. I had a beautiful run throughout the trip in the race, and I got
between horses when Torbellino ran out just after we straightened up, and I was presented with a gap that I could have got 3 Might and Powers through, but then he came back in again and tightened me onto the one inside of the horse of Bart Cummings's, and it turned it sideways, so I just got screwed sideways completely, and I felt that at that stage my horse was just going to dash through that gap and win the race, so I was pretty unlucky.
Yes, there was. If he does, he'll ride.
Of course.
He'll ride.
Of course, Mouwad, Octagonal's little brother, and I would say the heir apparent to the throne too. Only beaten once in 8 starts. He's going to run the shortest price favourite for probably almost 40 years in the Doncaster next week.
Now to racing, and Mouwad will be scratched from tomorrow's $1.1 million Doncaster at Randwick. Owner Rob McAnulty told 10 News a short time ago that minor tendon bruising has forced the Boom Colts withdrawal from tomorrow's Rich.
Ravada get a beaut run from his inside alley, barrier 3, $15. Anthems will come from the rear, $10. Iron Horse at $21, probably go forward today. Mouwad is a scratching.
And then Cats of All. Coming to the crossing at the 800 metres mark. Ravada's about a neck in front of All Our Mob. Kingston Bay is pulling a bit third. He's on the inside of Secret Savings at the 800 mark, followed by Pragmatism, and then Shame and Brackenbury. It's a pretty muddling pace in the Doncaster. Further back is Buzz Off with Iron Horse. Catalan Opening will have to do a big job, and the last couple are Ken Bell and Anthems as they near the turn. Inside the 600 mark, Ravada the leader from All Our Mob. Kingston Bay third, Secret Savings fourth, Shame with nowhere to go, and then Brackenbury. Catalan Opening is about to take off around the outside, followed by Buzz Off, Iron Horse and Ken Bell. Over the rise, All Our Mob headed Ravada. Secret Savings a length away, is running on strongly. Shame into the clear, then Catalan Opening. All Our Mob the leader at the 200. Secret Savings is coming at him strongly. Is it a Waterhouse Quinella? Secret Savings and All Our Mob have come away. They're fighting it out. Secret Savings just the leader from All Our Mob, and Larry Cassidy on Secret Savings for the Doncaster. Beat his stablemate All Our Mob, Ravada third, followed by Shame, and then Casino Doncaster for 1997.
And the story, of course, is 4 Doncasters in a row to Gay Waterhouse. Pharaoh won it in 93, Pharaoh won it in 93, 94 and 95. Sprint By in 96 and Secret Savings in 97, and just
on Doncaster winner's Secret Savings. Despite pulling up well after Saturday's Group 1, the 6-year-old American sensation won't race again and has been retired to stand at Emirates Park Stud.
Mouwad begins his career as a sire this season, standing for around $20,000 as a service fee. The deal negotiated today values Mouwad at $4 million. And it was the talk of tonight.
First of all, in the AJC Size Produce Stakes, I think that Guineas can win again. Guineas.
Shane, Guineas and Encounter. Can you turn the tables?
I can, but it's not going to be easy. The barrier is difficult. I've got barrier 10, Guineas has got barrier 8. But they're going to go...
Let's have a look at it. Number 1, Guineas, is now into $4.50. Number 2, Millwood, out to $3.20. Encounter favourite, but out to $3. Special
then to Port Loriga, followed by Game Warrior, 3 deep, Tri Cove and Evada last about 9 lengths off the lead. Coming around the turn, RD Winners a clear-cut leader over Guineas, first to go after her. In third place, Special Dane, followed by Encounter, and then Millwood, Mr. Right from Irish Air, and Tri Cove as they top the rise. RD Win the leader. Encounter and Guineas are coming after AD Winners. They top the rise and they're clear of Special Dane. None of the others are a hope. RD Win tackled by Encounter. Guineas can't find much more. Encounter hit the lead 100 metres out. Guineas is fighting back like a bulldog, but Encounter avenges defeat in the Golden Slipper. He tried to run out again, but he didn't get far today. Encounter beat Guineas. RD Winners run third, followed by Evada, and then Mr.
Say that the race broke for him, but that was a brilliant ride by Shane Dye on number 3 Encounter. $3 exactly and $1.40.
Now for the 4th horse in the Derby, a youngster by Octagonal and Mouwad sire Zabir. Remember the name, Might and Power.
Into the straight now, he's off the fence on Might and Power, and Might and Power quickly raced up and he ambled to the front on top of the rise. Might and Power shot clear coming to the 200 mark. He put about 2.5 lengths on Sakti, followed by Babu's Boy and then Something Special, but it's all Might and Power. He's been the real surprise packer to the 3-year-old group, an enormous run in the Derby last week, and he deserves this win, and he wins with his head on his chest. Into the straight now, he's off the fence on Might and Power, and Might and Power quickly raced up and he ambled to the front on top of the rise. Might and Power shot clear coming to the 200 mark. He put about 2.5 lengths on Sakti, followed by Babu's Boy and then Something Special, but it's all Might and Power. He's been the real surprise packer to the 3-year-old group, an enormous run in the Derby last week, and he deserves this win, and he wins with his head on his chest.
The Frank Packer Plate is not a Group 1 race. It's classified as Group 2. But we showed you Might and Power's win as a pointer for the future. The Packer Plate, who's been set for the Caulfield Cup.
People doubted Brian York's statement immediately after the Derby last week when he said Might and Power should have won. Those people might have had a rethink after watching this horse Donkey lick a pretty good field in the Frank Packer Plate yesterday. We pick them up as they near the turn. Might and Power's tucked away on the fence in white colours, enjoying a...
The Derby horses weren't in this, but in saying that, he couldn't have been more impressive.
Now, Glenn, you're on Blue Gum in the Tommy Smith dark blue and green stripes. You're back about 7th there, in between horses. Did he race a bit flat?
Yeah, I would have liked to have been a bit closer in the race, but in saying that, he did disappoint me a little bit by getting beaten so far, but he may have not backed up from Monday.
Glenn, there's a horse there
last week, and he deserves this win, and he wins with his head on his chest. Well done, Nick.
His winning margin was 8 lengths. I reckon he could have won me 10 or 15 lengths.
Yeah.
I'd never seen a horse sprint like he sprinted at Randwick. And at the presentation, I says, this is the best horse I've seen since Kingston Town.
Big statement, wasn't it?
Was.
Yeah.
But he's lived up to it.
Did he? What?
Follow it. Now, Glenn Boss and Danendri will be looking about 4 lengths in front of him, Ken, saying, well, there's Ella Capella, there's Assertive Lass. I'm on their tail, I know where they're going to go, and I'm going to follow them. But a horse...
And they're ready for the Honda AJC Oaks, and they're off now. Came away in a nice even line. Sabile, My Bright Ear, and Assertive Lass are away well. Ella Capella, 100 mark Decidity, got to the front to be taken on by My Bright Ear, who's made a long run. Our Silky Oak and Ballroom Lady are there, and we've got a line of 4 leaders now coming to the turn. 2 lengths away, Assertive Lass, Ella Capella waiting to go. Danendri is right on Ella Capella's heels, followed by Sabile pushing out of a pocket, and then Inshallah, who's dropped off, followed by Ventured. Into the straight, 400 out in the Oaks, and again Ballroom Lady got up on the fence to grab a narrow lead. Assertive Lass has got a beautiful run between them, and Danendri down the outside now with a storming run. Assertive Lass in front at the 200. Danendri comes to her quickly. Assertive Lass trying her heart out. Danendri having a bit of a battle, but now she gets the upper hand, and the Derby runner-up Danendri, and a good job for Glenn Boss. Danendri races away to beat Assertive Lass. Ella Capella 3rd. Shigeru Charlotte has run a great race 4th, and then...
What about Danendri? She's starting to look a bit special, isn't she?
Yes, I think she's a very, very good filly. Lance O'Sullivan on Ella Capella, though, he earns my vote for the Booby Prize of the Carnival Award. This was a most untidy effort.
Well, okay.
Oh, it was a Barry Crocker. It was a terrible ride.
She had to do his back up, and she gave me a great ride, and it was just a superior staying filly on the day, there's no doubt.
I disagree.
Oh, well.
The 3rd horse should have won for sure.
Tell me why.
No doubt. Got held up at the crucial stage, and you only got to see the, here it is here, and it's circled. Lance was trying to get out for a run on her, and she just got held up. If she'd come out before the turn or got the run there, there's no doubt she would have won.
Was that possibly more her exaggeration and trying to get through that gap and her immaturity? Because...
well, look at her there.
Yeah, I know, but at stages there was a gap to be taken. And I didn't think she was prepared to...
OK, to Randwick. Well, the Group 1 Weight for Age All-Age Stakes is coming up. The hot favourite is All Our Mob. Number 1 All Our Mob is at $1.90. Odds on 10 to 9 on, you invest $31. Catalan Opening is showing $3.40 now. That's for a $1 return for $1.
Have to be last of the 6 to the 600 metres mark in the All-Age Stakes. Kingston Bay the leader. Catalan Opening is over-raced in the early part of the race. All Our Mob is now easing out 3 deep. Pearl Princess pratted 4 wide on the corner. Shame is right on their heels turning for home, and Nick's Joy is last of the 6 as they come over the rise. Kingston Bay joined quickly by Catalan Opening, but here comes the mobster. All Our Mob on the outside has raced up quickly and put his head in front of Catalan Opening. It's All Our Mob taking a half-length lead over Catalan Opening, who's not going to give in cheaply. He's fighting back strongly. Shame is starting to motor home, but All Our Mob sent hard to the line by little Chrissy Munce, and All Our Mob wins the All-Age Stakes in great style over Shame, with Catalan Opening 3rd. Then Kingston Bay, followed by Pearl.
But what a great horse he's been. It's now 71 starts, 13 wins and 30 placings, and well, I reckon it's white sleeves.
He's now won over 2.5 million, this horse. This horse doesn't get the credit he deserves.
Oh, and he's a super horse. I keep remembering his... he's a super horse. I keep remembering his McKinnon Stakes win. He's likely...
Keith does, but he is the most professional racehorse. A Stradbroke win, a Newmarket win, placed in the Doncaster again this year. McKinnon win. But I think he will beat Octagonal and the Queen Elizabeth. I hope I am wrong, but I think he'll beat him.
I think the point you're making, though, it's going to be a great farewell, and Octagonal is going to have to earn his applause to beat this horse.
Yeah, it'll be a real contest, won't it? And he just did the...
odds on the Sydney Cup. TAV number 1, Nothing Like a Dane, is at $4.20. Number 2, Istidad, is favoured on the tote end with bookies. He's at 3-1 or a $4 return. $8 TAB number 6, Palos Verdes, has come in a little to about $7.50. $11 Ebony Grove, 13 Linesman, 41 Tennessee Oak.
Off and running in the Cup. Sterling Emblem on the outside, fired out of the gate, and win. Ebony Grove whips them in as they go up to the top turn at the 1,000 metres mark. Aurum Heights led the pace as Genuine now by a half length to Linesman. 2.5 lengths away, Sterling Emblem on the outside of Nothing Like a Dane. 2.5 to Magnet Bay, followed by Grandmaster. Ed has pulled out 3 wide. He's starting a forward move. Istidad is getting away from the rail, followed by Palos Verdes. Hard ridden now. Arctic Sense covered a heap of extra ground. She's under pressure, followed by Nimzo Indian. Ebony Grove between horses, and Tennessee Oak on the outside is dropping out to last as they come to the 600 metres mark, and Linesman shot to the front. Linesman leads the Cup field around the corner. He's 2 lengths or more in front of Aurum Heights. Here's Nothing Like a Dane looming into second place, followed by Magnet Bay, and then Istidad, Grandmaster. Ebony Grove is into the clear now and is giving them about 7 lengths as they come over the rise, where Linesman is a mile in front. Linesman by about 4 lengths to Nothing Like a Dane. Ebony Grove down the middle of the track. Istidad is battling away, but Linesman in the Harry Lawton colours is 6 lengths in front of Ebony Grove and Nothing Like a Dane. He's a fair dinkum, genuine stayer, Linesman. He could go around again. Linesman bolts away with the Sydney Cup. Nothing Like a Dane has come again to get second. Ebony Grove dying on his run third. Istidad fourth, followed by Grandmaster, Ed, Arctic Scent, Sydney Cup for 97.
Jointly by Apollo 11 and Just a Dancer. Number 8 Linesman, $11.60 and $3.50. Number 1 Nothing Like a Dane, $2.10, and number 7 Ebony Grove, $3.20.
As Glenn said earlier, it was a true staying test, and I thought that was a very smart ride of Larry Cassidy's, in that he made them catch him. He knew he had plenty of horses. Glenn said he knew he had a horse that had run 2 mile, and he made it a true staying test.
Yeah, he's fine, Marty. You know, he's a couple of days after the race. He was a little bit flat, but he's tremendous here now. He's picked right week, so, you know, I'm really looking forward to next week. It'll be a big week, so hopefully we can go out on a winning note.
It'll be nice, I think.
Many men at Royal Randwick today proving this notion wrong.
All the men in their makeup today, just for the big A. Very special horse. Inspirational and champion.
Go the... Bye, ladies and gentlemen. They're all set, and there they go. Octagonal began a little bit awkwardly, might have missed it a half length or so. Kingston Bay bounced out in front of French Resort. Turn they go at the 1,000 mark. Kingston Bay the leader. Electronic second. All Our Mob getting the run of the race third. 3 lengths away, Intergaze, followed by French Resort. Octagonal on the outside. It's being run to suit the champ. Followed further back by Buzz Off, who's tagging Octagonal. And then Nazarich and Shaskay, Circles of Gold as last as they go by the 800 mark. The pace has been furious. Kingston Bay the leader. Electronic second. All Our Mob third, given a lovely run by Chris Muntz. Then Intergaze, Octagonal looming up on the outside as they near the turn, followed by French Resort, and then Buzz Off, Shaskay, Nazarich and Circles of Gold is last of all. By G. Dye's getting busy on Octagonal. He's pulled the whip on the champ as they turn for home, where he's giving the leaders about 6 lengths. Kingston Bay and Electronic. Here comes the mobster. Intergaze on the outside, a length away. Octagonal, here he comes now. Intergaze and All Our Mob have headed Electronic. Octagonal's got a battle on his hands. Dye's throwing everything at him. The 3-year-old Intergaze has burst clear 100 metres out. The Big O can't do any better, try as he may. Intergaze has spoiled the party. A brilliant ride by Carmody. Intergaze in an upset beat Octagonal, reminiscent of Gunsind in 73. All Our Mob has run third, followed by Electronic. Yeah, Gunsind was beaten at his farewell appearance, and there was a strange hush immediately after the race. It was almost eerie.
Yeah, certainly.
Go out a winner.
Yeah, very upset.
Don't feel lucky.
Are you crying because he lost or because he's leaving?
Because he's leaving. Says everyone wants him to stay around. He's not, so...
Never before has a Group 1 win been so lonely. Intergaze today's forgotten hero.
Well, I can understand.
Unfortunately, that's the way it is. They all were cheering for Octagonal. Everybody wanted to see him to win. You know, it's just a shame he didn't.
He tried.
I'll tell you where he's going, to horse heaven out the start. We then the scenes afterwards for the second place horse. It's priceless, isn't it? Just summing up, what are you going to remember about Octagonal?
Well, I'm going to remember that he had 28 starts, all in the best of company. He finished with a 50% winning strike rate. No horse has earned more money than him, Bruce. Nearly $5.9 million. He was a beautiful brown horse.
Now I've got the memories of the photo finishes that he went into, the revolving doors he went into with some very good horses and come out in front. He just didn't get quite close enough to Intergaze yesterday where it mattered. But
It's racing, the better horse won on the day, and you know, he give it his all. I mean, he had every opportunity to beat the other horse, so, you know, not disappointed in that respect, but just, well, everyone loves to go out a winner, but he's still a champion, you know, win or lose from yesterday.
Darren, we mustn't forget to give Intergaze due credit. This is one nice horse, and what a good Cox Plate horse he'll be later.
He will be as a 4-year-old, but he has been a touch unlucky in a few of his races, you know, due to the circumstances of the race, and he's been a professional all the way through, really, and he's got a great turn of foot, which does help win weight for age races.
Question.
The Inghams yesterday, Guineas didn't have to start in the Champagne Stakes. They paid a late entrance fee. They put the 2-year-old title of the year up for grabs, and they lost it because Encounter was very impressive.
And it's 7 lengths from first to last as they come around the turn. It's Irish Air and Guineas going together. Encounter's been 3 deep from the outset. That's him with the white cap as they come around the turn, followed by Nediym. South Bend is next as they come over the rise, and Salty is now taken to the extreme outside. Guineas and Irish Air. Dye hasn't moved on Encounter. He's about to do so, however. Salty is running on, and South Bend can't do any more. At the 200 mark, Irish Air and Guineas. Encounter has cantered up to them on the outside. Nediym is running on well, but Encounter shot clear. Will this be the day that Shane Dye rides the program? It might well be, as Encounter spears away. That's his 4th for the day. Salty got 2nd, Irish Air 3rd.
How'd he get beaten the slipper?
well, that will remain one of racing's great mysteries.
Certainly underlined his yesterday. Very smart. We might see this horse in the Cox Plate this year.
He's outside. What about Trader?
There. I switch the stick coming up here, you'll see it, and I put one round him. And if anything, he goes to duck in here, but I really got down and rode him hard, and he exploded. Very, very impressive.
Darren, Guineas is a horse you know well. He'd been to the well once too. They're good two-year-olds, but there's another good two-year-old at Crown Lodge. His name is Trader Vic. He's had 2 starts for 2 wins. Darren rode him in one of them. Shane rode him in the other. Now look at Shane Dye on Trader Vic as they come up the rise. He's a beautifully actioned horse by Canny Lad. Struth, can't he go?
We're in 2 outstanding 2-year-olds this year. Encounter's one, and this is the other one, and I'm sure he'll win the Sires and Castlemaine in Brisbane. I think I couldn't split Encounter in this 2-year-old at this stage. Encounter's done it all, I know that. He's the best. This horse has to do it, but I think this horse will do it.
You reckon there won't be some lobbying?
600 out as they near the turn. Ruffles clear. Line Hunter in second place. Niggled a bit. Mahogany getting a cushy run third. Followed by Unison, Flavour, Clang, Monopolise and Eastern Star tailed off as they come around the corner. Ruffles well clear at the 400 mark over Line Hunter. Flat to the boards. Here's Mahogany. Mahogany looming into second place is out after the mare as they top the hill. Golly, Greg Hall looks confident as Mahogany canters alongside Ruffles. Greg says, go boy, and this remarkable 6-year-old Mahogany has exploded away, and he's going to win the inaugural Endeavour Stakes in a cakewalk. Greg keeps him going to the line, and Mahogany bolted in over Ruffles. Clang the corner. Ruffles well clear at the 400 mark over Line Hunter. Flat to the boards. Here's Mahogany. Mahogany looming into second place is out after the mare as they top the hill. Golly, Greg Hall looks confident as Mahogany canters alongside Ruffles. Greg says, go boy, and this remarkable 6-year-old Mahogany has exploded away, and he's going to win the inaugural Endeavour Stakes in a cakewalk. Greg keeps him going to the line, and Mahogany bolted in over Ruffles. Clang has run third, followed by Flavour, Monopolise, Eastern Star.
Just a quick comment, Keith, on one of your favourite horses.
Yes, he's had 8 Group 1 wins, and yesterday's win in lesser.
To be precise, Greg. Gee, I admire that horse. I can't believe a dual Derby winner could travel like that in a 1,200-metre sprint.
He's just a super horse with blinkers on too. That's a bit of a key to Mahogany as well.
No excuses for any other runner. The best horse won. He's a freak. But I want to congratulate the race. I reckon this race, if they make it up to a $500,000 race, it could get Group 1 status and it will be a success for the AJC. It's a great race.
I just think of the Queensland Guineas Day last year, and while that won't happen again, bad weather is back, though, for the race this year. Boom 3-year-old Yippiyio is the early favourite for the $170,000 Classic at Eagle Farm.
Off and racing, Yippiyio was slow to move at the start, and he went straight back to the tail of the field, and Crystal Palace the first to ping out. Summer Bow and Mandu and Paconas got out quickly. Forgotten Hero not far away when they hit the ground. Our prime mover just 3 deep and last. Mighty Golden Yippiyio 3 deep and last. 700 to run. Mandu a half. Crystal Palace, Paconas third outside. Forgotten Hero. Then came our prime mover, Crafty Bows around Summer Bow. Now Beedman's gone on Anthems. He's rushing up quickly, and Cassidy is following him on Yippiyio as they near the corner. And further back in the field is Hornet as they come round the home turn. Into the straight, 4.25 to go. Mandu led Crystal Palace, Paconas, Forgotten Hero. Crafty Bow pulled out, then Summer Bow, and here comes Yippiyio with a big run on the outside. Crystal Palace hit the front, 300 to go. Yippiyio just about on terms. Crafty Bow got cut out, then Forgotten Hero, but Yippiyio went to the lead from Crystal Palace with 100 to go. Then Crafty Bow, Mighty Golden, I like him. They said he was good, they weren't kidding. He is a freak. Yippiyio rushed away and won the Guineas from Crystal Palace. Mighty Gold got third from I Like Him. Crafty Bow is next. There goes Yippiyio dashing around them quickly. Cassidy making a dash. He's gone up about 4 horses deep, but his midfield as they approach the corner. Look at them bunch up. Summer Bow is next on the inside. Anthem's following up behind Yippiyio, and then Sahara Z and I Like Him. In the straight now, 400 metres out. Mandu just in front of Crystal Palace. The filly dashed up to go to the lead. She's running out badly, but she's gone to a clear lead. Here comes Yippiyio on the outside. Yippiyio is after Crystal Palace. He's moved up to hit the lead. Oh boy, they said he was good. He looks really good. 100 metres to go, and away he goes, Yippiyio. He is blitzing them in the run to the post, and he's going to win the Guineas by 5 lengths. Yippiyio first, and a big victory wave there from Jimmy Cassidy. Crystal Palace second, and Mighty Gold got third.
Brisbane, Wayne, did we see a superstar yesterday with Yippiyio?
No, I'm sure we did, Bruce. It was an outstanding performance by the horse to win the way that he did. He went against the pattern of racing at Eagle Farm, came from a mile back, had them covered on the home turn, and really looked good over the final stages of the races. He careered away to win by 5 lengths. Yes, we saw a superstar yesterday.
Our other guest...
If that's the case, Yippiyio is certainly going to develop into a great horse. We're getting a little caught up in the hype at the moment, but I think we're entitled to. The horse has only had the 7 starts, but everything that he's done has been quite exceptional. Look at him there. He's like a big kangaroo the way that he covers the ground, and he raced away and beat a quality field in the Guineas, and he's got a more... Yeah, he'll go for the Grand Prix and the Derby, and I think after that, straight to Melbourne for the Melbourne Cup.
Watch out.
The other good races, the Doomben Classic. Now look out for another
400 out. Spirit of Oregon, Jean's Interest, Kingston Clan, Banner Headline getting into the clear. Video Kid sprinted up quickly on the outside and went past Banner Headline, and then Blue Gum, and Marble Halls is winning its way through the field. Jean's Interest led inside the 200. Video Kid, Banner Headline, and now Marble Halls. Banner Headline and Video Kid, but Marble Halls joined in. Marble Halls got the Banner Headline close to home. Marble Halls has beaten Banner Headline. Third, I think, Kid sprinted up quickly on the outside and went past Banner Headline, and then Blue Gum, and Marble Halls is winning its way through the field. Jean's Interest led inside the 200. Video Kid, Banner Headline, and now Marble Halls. Banner Headline and Video Kid, but Marble Halls joined in. Marble Halls got the Banner Headline close to home. Marble Halls has beaten Banner Headline. Third, I think, Mr. Brannigan, which came home late in front of Video Kid.
Gosh, that was an impressive win by that Nassapur gelding. 3 from 8. Simon, have you seen much of him?
Yeah, seen a little bit of him, and I think we're going to see a lot more of him. And yesterday, look...
And it's still pretty hard to see those horses beating Yippiyio.
I was with Lee Friedman. I was walking past the betting ring, and Lee said, come and have a look at this horse in Brisbane. He said, a horse called Marble Halls. He said he can win the Melbourne Cup this year. And Wayne, it was an outstanding...
But he picked up and sprinted that quickly, and then he was pretty kind to him in the run to the line over the final stages. I thought shades of Doriemus here a couple of years ago when he started his Melbourne Cup campaign up here in Brisbane. Look out, this fellow doesn't...
And whatever you like, but the race everybody's been talking about this week, was a 1,400-metre welter at Ascot in Perth last Wednesday. There was a 13-8 on favourite by the name of Gypsy Lad, and to say he missed the kick is an understatement.
Now they look right, they're off. Twist and Shout just ambled out of the gates. Oh, the favourite Gypsy Lad stood in the stalls. Gypsy Lad has missed the kick by the best part of 15 lengths, and Irish Rort won the start over Pateur. There's a sensation to the start of the welter. Corporate Memory away quickly, being followed by Draft Choice, and over on the outside is Coachwood. He's slowing them right down, and Gypsy Lad has picked the field up in the twinkling of an eye, and he's going to go right around them, and he takes the lead. Well, there's a spectacular state of affairs. Gypsy Lad 15 lengths behind the field when the starter said go, and he's now in front at the 850. Can he keep going? Around the corner, Miller's given him full rein, Gypsy Lad, and he quickly put 2.5 lengths on Pateur. Corporate Memory is starting to run on from Irish Rort. Miller's now getting into Gypsy Lad. He's getting a little weary. Here comes Irish Rort, but Gypsy Lad's still got a clear break. Irish Rort is gobbling up the ground, but what a mighty performance by Gypsy Lad. An incredible effort. Gypsy Lad has won from Irish Rort and Corporate Memory.
Champion. Vitaman fourth the outside. Then came Forgotten Hero, New Well, Elmer Zayun, Cash for Ashg, Marble Hall to want to get a move on. He's under an awful lot of pressure and he is not getting through the ground around the turn. But the leader is, I'll tell you, Banner Headline. He raced away at the top of the straight. He's 2.5 Spirit of Oregon. Calm Abiding pull to the outside. On the fence then is Cash for Ash and Forgotten Hero wider out, and now Mr. Brannigan running home strongly. Banner Headline in front, Forgotten Hero the outside's gone to him from Mr. Brannigan. Marble Halls is rattling late, Forgotten Hero the leader. Marble Halls is gobbling up the ground in the opposition. He swooped them on under double wraps and he's home. Marble Halls put up an amazing performance to win. Forgotten Hero second.
There is the horse back there at the moment. He's being checked off the heels. He does cop another check in the surprise and in the straight with about 150 to go. And we'll just sit back and listen to your call. And I think you were the most surprised bloke on the course yesterday.
Nicely clear as they head up for the judge. Two in front. Calm Abiding is coming up to second, and Cash for Ash is going for a needle eye opening on the inside. There's not much room there. He's trying to push through Harris. Forgotten Hero on the outside, and Mr. Brannigan is through in the centre. 100 metres to go. Forgotten Hero on the outside, swept to the lead. Here's Marble Halls. Marble Halls is flying o'er under double wraps from Oliver. He cruises past Forgotten Hero and won the race.
Seen anything like it before?
No, I haven't. No, I have not. It was an amazing performance. Did you see how he eased up on him over the final stages? Have a look at him there. He's 3 off the pace. He's digging him up to pick them up. He picked them up in one stride, and just look at him in this last 50 metres. He cruises to the post. I spoke to Damien after the race yesterday, Bruce, and he said potentially, I don't know whether it was a heat of the moment statement or not, but he said potentially it's the best horse he's ridden.
Gee, that's a huge rep. And Poetic King.
Marble Halls and Yippiyio, the clash. I think at this stage I'd be going Marble Halls, Bruce, because it was an amazing performance to do what he did yesterday. From the
yesterday. Be surprised if we're looking at a Caulfield Melbourne Cup favourite there. Bubble ran home.
Richard, that was some win. That was an outrageous performance. That I've rarely seen one of ours do something like that. He was finished at the furlong, and you know, in a traffic jam there, and just came from nowhere. He ran, and he'd have to be the one to beat in the Derby, I think. Can he win a Melbourne Cup? Oh, that's a toughie. Yeah, I reckon he might.
Struth. Hey, Shane, the Queensland Derby Quinella will pay about $1.60, Yippiyio and Marble Halls.
But isn't it funny, John, 3 weeks ago everyone had Yippiyio, a short price favourite, Melbourne, Caulfield Cups, Queensland Derbies, odds on. This horse here shouldn't be entitled to start favourite, and I think looks the winner.
Yeah, can he win a Melbourne?
Entitled to start favourite, and I think looks the winner.
Yeah, can he win a Melbourne Cup, as Richard says he can?
Definitely. No doubt. His win, I've never seen a horse do what he did. Damien ran into 3 dead ends on him yesterday and he still picked himself up to win. Yeah. It was just unbelievable, and it was a good field. It wasn't a bad field.
You think Group 1?
Cup Day, the 10 News BTC Sprint holds a lot of interest, particularly towards the Stradbroke handicap in a fortnight. He gets
Lee Friedman Stables, Chief De Beers is at 4 to 1 or $5. Remember, these are returns on the Queensland tab, or approximately 8.5 to 1. Blazing Steel at $3.30, a little bit over 2 to 1. Fayence at $1. Malagua is almost favourites. Close second favourite to be ridden by Jim Cassidy is at $3.40.
Malagua hesitated fractionally off the inside, and Confiscate and Chief De Beers, and Blazing Steel is last. 700 to run. Quick Flick the leader, 2 to Chief De Beers. Confiscate third. Malagua's in fourth. 2 Answered Prayers. 1 Mamselle Padrille. Faience the outside from Poetic King, followed by Kidman's Cove. 3 lengths Blazing Steel, then Captive City, Slicker and Rodway Sea. Up to the bend, 450 out. Quick Flick just in front. Chief De Beers second. Malagua to the outside. Confiscate next. Poetic King's picking up ground. Faience to the outside, and then Blazing Steel. 300 out. Chief De Beers hit the lead. Malagua, Poetic King are trying hard, then Faience and Blazing Steel on the outside, but Chief De Beers raced away inside the 200. Confiscate and Poetic King battling on from Blazing Steel. Chief De Beers getting tied. Poetic King is finishing right over the top of him, and he's got him. Poetic King got up to beat Chief De Beers. Third, I think, Confiscate just in front of Blazing Steel, then Malagua. Faience just
had 2 serious bouts of illness, you know, Poetic King.
It's amazing. I thought he could win the Doomben 10,000 2 weeks ago, and he runs shocking in it, and he bounces back on the same kind of track. I thought Blazing Steel, and he bounces back on the same kind of track. I thought Blazing Steel run very, very well, come from a long way back, and horses weren't making up a lot of ground yesterday, John. But
Group 1, nice produce stakes. I think holds centre stage here tomorrow. Some outstanding young horses on show here. Trader Vic will be the favourite. He's going to be hard to beat. I thought a little bit disappointing last.
He's at $26. Staging is a clear second favourite. A filly from the Clary Connor stable. Staging to be ridden by
Blasters Emeralds off. On the bend, 500 out, Ocean Ranch, a neck El Mansour. Staging a length away, round the corner. Trader Vic next in the middle. Dane given a cut with the whip. Aveda pulled out to make a run, and then came Trumpets. El Mansour went to the front, 300 metres to go. Staging in second spot. Trader Vic under the whip. Aveda running home on the outside, but to the 200. El Mansour is clear. Little Staging trying hard in second place, and Dane is running home, but El Mansour's in front of Staging with 100 metres left to go, and El Mansour's got the size. Shot the bits. El Mansour went home to beat Staging. Third, Dane. Fourth, Aveda. Fifth, Trader Vic. Then came Trumpets and Emerald. Trumpets and Emeralds off, followed by Ocean Ranch, High Dock, and last home.
He looked pretty good. Has a future by At Talac. Trader Vic went to Queensland with huge rats. Probably some people felt he was better than Guineas, Hawks' Golden Slipper winner.
Yeah, well... So I thought 2 things that came out of that. One, we better start having a look at El Mansour, and I think it's a pretty much a quality animal. It paid $17, $18 to win yesterday. I think we can now start taking notice of it, and probably should have.
Suffered a blow today with triple Group 1 winner Poetic King ruled out of the $1 million Stradbroke handicap at Eagle Farm. The highly favoured sprinter was scratched this morning after an abscess on his near front hoof.
Pretty good betting race, and it'll be hard to pick the winner. I'm just hoping that mine are good enough.
Accomplice. All these are around about the same. Accomplice 9 to 4. Oh, as I speak, he's back into $3.10. So just over 2 to 1. Blazing Steel at $6.10, around about 5 to 1. Down near the bottom, Malagua has come in a couple of points.
Second last, Blazing Steel is last. 800 to go, Quick Flick at a good bat led. Malagua, Celestial Choir, Accomplice in the box seat. Fourth on the inside, Confiscate fifth, then Lord Luskin, Catlin opening Eastern Star. Mamselle Padrille travelling deep from Dane Ripper, Cohort, Kidman's Cove, Future King, Super Dane. Further back in the field, Faience as they near the home turn, monopolised deep from Shame. Blazing Steel last, about to come to the outside. In the straight, 4.25 to go. Quick Flick joined by Malagua. Confiscate about a length away on the outside. Accomplice in the middle. Wider out on the track. Celestial Choir, Catlin opening, and Mamselle Padrille and Dane Ripper. Quick Flick in front of the 200 metres mark. Accomplice getting out inside Malagua. Celestial Choir, and look at Dane Ripper, the filly down the outside. Dane Ripper's coming with giant strides after Quick Flick. Quick Flick and Dane Ripper. Dane Ripper's going the better. Dane Ripper wins the Stradbroke. Dane Ripper from a photo between Quick Flick, Celestial Choir and Future King flew home, then Blazing Steel. Confiscate, Eastern Star. Then came...
Now they head for the judge in the Stradbroke, and it's Quick Flick the leader. Malagua is given full bore on the outside. He's trying hard to reach him. Accomplice is there in the centre, squeezing through. Celestial Choir on the outside with Confiscate. Catlin opening is running on, and Dane Ripper right down the outside. The Greys kick Quick Flick. He's just in front. He's leading by a length on Celestial Choir. Dane Ripper out wide is finishing brilliantly. She's going to get the money, I think. Yes, Dane Ripper first.
Dane Ripper was...
Are you confident? I thought she had a great chance, yeah, at the weights, and she's never really reached her ultimate potential, I didn't think. And as a young horse, she run the Golden Slipper, but she wasn't quite seasoned and matured at that time. But she's she's going to be a lovely mare from now on, I'd say.
You've done it again.
Into Dane Ripper, another Stradbroke handicap for Bart Cummings after victories with Never Under Charge and Campaign King, starting at the good.
Bart, as I mentioned, Blazing Steel was held up in the straight. Maybe should have finished in a place, but let me tell you, nothing would have beaten Dane Ripper.
Well, not great.
Group 1 races.
It's a mile. Queensland Derby has been a great talking point all week. It features the clash of two exciting three-year-olds with Yippiyio and Marble Halls.
In the tempo of the race, he and Marble Halls will both get back, and they'll need a little bit of luck, but I think they're the best two horses in the race.
He looks getting out of a Noble 40, and that is Marble Halls by Nassapur out of a Noble Bijou mare, Simon.
Yes, certainly, and have a look at that family, Nassapur, Noble Bijou. It should be able to stay all day, Marble Halls. Big, long, striding horse he is, big chestnut gelding.
Going $2.60, odds of 13 to 8. Marble Halls favourite, but just $2.50, odds of 6 to 4. 30 to 1 for Godring Hornet, a length and a half to Marble Halls. He's in midfield with plenty of galloping room at the moment. How Bizarre on the fence, then Payatinsky. Cassidy about to go forward on Yippiyio, then Blue Gum and Summerbow on the fences last. 700 metres to go. Sakti the leader from Forgotten Hero. Cash for Ash third from Biter Man. Marble Halls is now going forward on the outside from Hornet Banner headline. Yippiyio is tracking Marble Halls to the home turn from How Bizarre, Summerbow, and then Payatinsky and Blue Gum last. Around the corner, 450 to run on the Derby, and the leader Forgotten Hero from Biter Man. Marble Halls coming up, and Yippiyio on the outside, and then Summerbow. The pressure's on, 300 metres to go. Marble Halls and Yippiyio, they've taken the lead together with Yippiyio dashing past Marble Halls, which won't give up, and then Summerbow. Yippiyio ducked in on top of Marble Halls, and they're together with 100 to go. Yippiyio and Marble Halls. Yippiyio's a neck in front. Marble Halls can't pick him up, and Yippiyio wins a great derby. Yippiyio beat Marble Halls 6 lengths away, third Summerbow, and then Blue Gum, Vita Man, Payatinsky, Philippe Borash's last home, and a real thriller in the derby. Starting
Marble Halls is poised there, third on the outside. Yippiyio fourth the outside. This is what we've been waiting for. 300 metres to go, and both boys go full board now. Yippiyio got away from Marble Halls. It's Yippiyio a neck in front. Marble Halls is kicking again on the inside. It's Marble Halls and Yippiyio. Yippiyio a neck in front of Marble Halls. Yippiyio just in front of Marble Halls. They're drawing to the line. Jimmy Cassidy with the whip in the air, and he said, Yippee! Yippiyio has won the derby.
This was the highest rated Queensland Derby in memory. With two
mature, but I think we've got a couple of great stayers coming up for the spring.
They're going to meet again in the Cups, and Damien Oliver saw
Back to you, Ken.
Seasoned, a strong staying effort living up to the huge raps jockey Jim Cassidy has put on the three-year-old. First and second horses should provide some great entertainment in the spring.
Of the great derbies, a two-horse race that turned out just that way. Not like Bailey.
Marble Horse tried to lift several times on the inside. He wouldn't shirk the task, Marble Horse, but Yippiyio just a little too strong for him at the end. You couldn't have scripted it any better than the way it turned out yesterday, with Jimmy taking off.
Wayne, I think the thing that was interesting too is that the third horse is No Mug. He's a very good horse in his own right, and they beat him out of sight, Summerbow.
Well, he's a two-time weight for age winner, Bruce, and yet they beat him by 5 lengths. It was a full credit to both horses, outstanding performances, and as you say, Bruce, one of the great derbies.
It was a two. Well, boys, they're potential stars of the spring. Which one do you think will go on the best?
Well, I think the best horse won yesterday, Yippiyio. I thought his was the best run in the race. He was the best horse. But I think come the spring, I'd like to be on the second horse, Marble Halls. I think he's really the horse of the future. What do you think?
They're both pretty good horses today. The thing it did show, the Queensland Derby was the Derby of the year. Like Portland Player won in Melbourne, Ebony Grove won in Sydney. They'd have both got run over by those two horses yesterday. They're the best 2 3-year-olds.
Well, here's a fabulous shot again from the Whitman's Light Chip.
The lightning tote prices. Number 1, Chief De Beers, is at 3 to 1. Blazing Reality at 7 to 2. Rancho's Coup at 20 to 1. Bounty Notoire from Newcastle is a hot favourite. Darren Beedman to ride him at 6 to 4.
Standing well. Can he win here today, Chief De Beers? He's never won at Eagle Farm. Has a race. Blazing Reality's third last, and then Rancho's Coup and Wizard of Id. On the corner, 500 out. Solomon Star near the fence. Trinity Lane, Caller Reason, Sir Tat, Notoire rushing up on the outside. Blazing Reality working through the field, so is Shadow Chief, and then Beware Robin, Chief De Beers. Sir Tat still in front, 200 out. Notoire can't get to Sir Tat. Now Blazing Reality is cutting through towards the fence, and then Chief De Beers. Sir Tat is the leader with 100 to go. Blazing Reality is coming at him now. Blazing Reality gets to Sir Tat. Blazing Reality coaches to the lead. Blazing Reality, a big win and the Lightning over Sir Tat. Third's a photo, Rancho's Coos, Wide Out or Solomon Star. Then Hands Twice, Chief the Beer, Shadow Chief, Natoir.
This head-on six are the first two placings. We're looking...
Let's have a breeders. According to the pre-post markets, has a mortgage on this event. Certainly a place.
The 10 News Breeders' Classic Final at Doomben, a $455,000 race. Looks a one-horse race. Staging the filly on 52.5 at level weights. Looks a class above the opposition.
Chick is the leader. He is staging off the fence to issue the challenge. Graham's Choice next. Ganelda's wider out. And Forever Mist has pulled out to make a run in the straight. Chase the Chick on the inside and staging. York said go and staging. Sprinted away. Chase the Chick in second spot. Ganelda on the outside and then Forever Mist. But it's all staging with 100 metres to go. Nothing wrong with the track work today. Staging's dashing away. Ganelda goes to second in front of Chase the Chick. Staging bolted in.
Australia were 3 Group 3s at Eagle Farm on the heavy track yesterday. The first of them, race 5, the Winter Stakes.
6 behind her, Aphasia getting into the clear, and Dane Ripper's getting a run on the inside if she's good enough. Direct attack in front, 350 metres to go. Dane Ripper's up on the inside, Aphasia out wide, Timeless wins. Amber coming through in the centre with a strong run, and Monica down the outside. Dane Ripper and Amber, they're going to fight it out. Dane Ripper the inside, Amber the outside. Both jockeys go for the whips. Beedman, Dittman, and it's Amber and Dane Ripper. They hit the line. Dane Ripper kicked on the inside, and she's won it.
Great performance was a beauty, the Stradbroke winner, but a 3-year-old filly with 57 kilos on her back. Not easy, taking on quality mares, and she was up against a beauty in Amber over the final 200 metres of the race, and it was a soul stir.
Perfect.
On the tote, it was something like $4.90 Dane Ripper paid. I don't think people have given her credit. She's a big, strong horse, and she can carry weight. We might just see a bit more of her in the spring.
The set Amber, if it was a handicap race.
Well, park your peepers on this win by Blazing Reality in the Mercedes-Benz. Look on the right-hand side of your screen. Look for a yellow cap near the tail of the field. You won't believe this.
600 metres to go. Natoir led Lily Acious, Rancho's Coup. Sir Tatter's fourth. Chief De Beers has moved into a close fifth. Specialised deep as they come round the bend from Harvey Ladd, followed by Corregidor. Lord Luskin, Blazing still second last. Blazing Reality still last. 400 metres to go and Natoir raced away. He's 3 lengths to Lily Acious. Chief De Beers is running home under his big weight on the outside. And then Rancho's Coup. Natoir in front, 200 metres to go. Chief De Beers is coming after Natoir and Blazing Reality is starting to motor. Blazing Reality hasn't been in the race, but he's about to be. Chief De Beers hit the lead. Blazing Reality went over the top of him and did him in. Oh, Blazing Reality, what a run. He's got up to beat Chief De Beers.
Reality giving them a mile start as they straighten up, and back last Blazing Steel. Natoir is the leader. They're in the straight now, 350 metres to go. Natoir ridden along, got away from them, 2 lengths in front. Chief De Beers is up to second on the outside, coming after Natoir. Rancho's Coup is running on as well, and then Sir Tat. Blazing Reality right down the outside, Natoir in front. Here comes the Chief. The Chief is coming after him, and Blazing Reality. Blazing Reality is flying on the outside. Chief De Beers, Blazing Reality. Blazing Reality on the outside fence has got up to win it.
So, Wayne, how would you compare him
to a horse who created an impression here last year, Ken Grande, won the Lightning and he won the Mercedes-Benz. I'd say he's as good as, probably a little bit better than Ken Grande. Now, Ken Grande, young improved, look out for him in the spring. I think he's a top-line sprinter.
And there's no doubt it was an amazing run, John, but the leaders stopped. I think they run their last 638.4. Now, they come home faster in the Tats Cup, so the leaders walked the last bit, and I think the win was over-exaggerated by that, but in saying that, it was still a very good win.
Yeah, Ripper, and I thought I'd love to show you yours, and while I'm showing it, I'll show no emotion. Have a look at this.
Well, Show No Emotion is the leader, a half length to Dande at the 800, a length and a half City Hall on the inside of Manhattan Von, followed by Regula. All systems go is very deep on the track, being followed by further back in the field Rouge Fur, making play there. Going forward, Bold Play over on the inside is Rich Glen Ruler, being followed further back in the field by Shows On and Sherry, and a long gap Star Grace at his distant second last, and last of all Star Delphinus. But this leader is bounded away, Show No Emotion, and Show No Emotion going like a rocket, about 4 lengths ahead of Dande. Manhattan Von on the outside, Regula making ground, a length and a half City Hall and Rouge Fur. Well back in the field, then at the head of the others came Sherry, but Show No Emotion 6 or 8 lengths in advance as they straighten up, is well clear. He's dashed right away, Show No Emotion, 6 or 7 lengths in advance of Manhattan Von. Coming down the outside, Sherry and Regula, followed by Rouge Fur, but this is very, very good, this horse. Show No Emotion, he's right down, will bolt in. Show No Emotion, with his head on his chest almost, wins by 6 lengths. Coming from the rear second, Star Delphinus. Third.
The find of the winter, Show No Emotion, led all the way, running faster time than the open sprinters through the first 800 metres before coasting home. Come and Show No Emotion has led from the outside barrier, is 7 lengths in front now, Bragula and Showery, and this is pretty smart. Show No Emotion has won it easily on the post, 6 or 7 on the line. His 7 lengths could have been anything, and so could he. Trainer Tony Noonan has recently retired top mare Bionic Bess and has been looking for a replacement.
Bionic Bess was just a champion to me because she put me from nowhere to somewhere, and you know, you just hope then that you've got a young horse that can come and take their spot, and you know, he definitely looks like he'll measure up to that.
It's a name worth remembering. Show No Emotion will certainly be a force in better races. He was Evans' favourite.
The important thing is it is winter form, but I do think that Show No Emotion, the way it won yesterday, has an opportunity of mixing it with the best during springtime.
Yep. Have a look at this one, Simon.
Very good horse.
Yeah, I think we've got to be careful now. Winter form is very important, of course, but the important thing is it is winter form, but I do think that Show No Emotion, the way it won yesterday, has an opportunity of